rise. Now, this is case number 583 on the calendar, the matter of McClammy versus Johnson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
You two ladies are on a women's basketball team, is that right?
That's correct.
And it is your claim, Ms. McClammy, that the defendant assaulted you in the locker room after a game?
That's correct.
Ms. Johnson says that you started it.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me when this happened.
December 6, 2005.
And how long had you been teammates?
For a year and a half.
In high school?
No, 2 years in college.
Had you had any trouble with each other?
The past November '04, yes.
November of '04?
Yes.
Not true.
Shh, don't interrupt. What happened in November of
November
04?
'04. I told the coach I had some financial situations that I was, not going to be able to play that year. And he said, it was okay if you can come maybe 3 times a week for practice. You're not going to be able to start. And he said, if you can't make it, then just come and support the team. So I said, okay. November '04, they had a scrimmage at Polytech, downtown Brooklyn, New York. The team was in the locker room, and I was getting dressed. He gave me a uniform to get dressed. And she replied to me, Tabby, are you getting dressed? Are you playing? I said, I'm not too sure. I'm just supporting the team. And she said to me, oh, how are you going to play when everyone, came to practice on time and you haven't came? And I said, January, it's not like that. I said, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about this privately. It's not like that. I'm just here to support the team. And she got angry, got riled up to the point where she wanted to confront me and attack me in the locker room with all the teammates in the locker room. They escorted her out. I came out and I told the coach what happened, and she said, well, just don't leave, just support the team.
Okay, now I understand. So you'd had words a year before.
Absolutely.
When you told the coach that you couldn't play, was that because you were getting a job?
Yes, I was working to support my financial needs.
So you were working while you were in college?
Right, absolutely.
Were you living at home?
I was living I was in foster care.
Still in college?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Perfect. What college do you go to?
York College in New York.
What year are you in?
I'm in my senior year. I'll be graduating June 1st.
And you?
The same.
Great. Okay, so now tell me what happened on December 6th.
December 6th, it was, we went into the locker room, and I was getting dressed.
This was before the game or after?
This is after the game. After the game was over.
Did you win or did you lose that game?
We lost, but it's not due to because we lost.
Okay.
Just so you know, you have the same setting where I was. There's a locker room in back of me. There's one on the side. There's one in front right here. There's a bench here, and there's a bench right here on the side. And there's a way where there's another corridor where January was, and a locker on the side of that.
That's Miss Johnson.
Miss Johnson, correct. I had the bottoms on. I was able to successfully put the bottoms on. I was getting ready to put the top on, and my clothes was on this bench, and I took off my sports bra. I was getting ready to reach for my bra.
Shh, I don't want you to interrupt her.
I was getting ready to reach for my bra. January came around, and she said to me, Tabby, everyone has breasts. I said to her, leave me alone. Please leave me alone. She got angry, came around towards me, and started saying, oh, I'm tired of you telling me to be quiet. And I'm sitting here trying to cover up myself, and she pushed me to the locker. So at self-defense, I tried to push her back so I can move because I was undressed. I didn't have no clothes on, no bra, no nothing on.
Gotcha.
So
Only
I
your
moved,
pants.
Right. I moved towards, because there's the bathroom, towards that way. I moved towards her. She kept coming towards me. Another teammate was in the same row as her. She came around trying to break up the fight.
Well, was there a fight at this point so far? I heard about a little pushing.
Right, she pushed me, but she came towards me while I was trying to get away from her. So while she's holding me...
Step back
I'm sorry.
to where you were.
She's holding me, and we're in the bathroom.
You mean the other teammate is holding you?
Right, she's trying to break it up. And soon I turn around, she hits me in my eye. And everything stopped, and that was it. And so the teammate said, look what you did. So she told the other teammate to go get the coach. The coach came in. I still didn't have no clothes. I thought I had clothes on. The coach came in, and he looked at my eye, then he looked down. I was wondering why he was looking down, realizing I didn't have no clothes on. So he went back. The lady coach came in, and she saw me, and they conversing. The man coach is conversing with her, saying...
Okay. Do you have any photographs of what
Yes,
your eye
I do.
looked like? I'd like to take a look at them. Was there a police report?
Yes.
I have evidence of a police report.
Oh.
Okay.
I wasn't able to get that, but I do have the charges that she was charged with and the medical bills.
Okay. You have the police report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
I typed up, just in case you can't read it, it's in a very small font, so I tried to do it as best I could.
You typed it?
No, the report is there, but I just tried to make it legible, so I just typed up some of the words that I could get. Even I had questions on some of the wording.
No, I can read it just fine. I see that you did it. So you were arrested for third-degree assault?
Yes.
Okay. So, Ms. McClemmy, what you want is you want your medical bills paid?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Johnson.
My turn?
Your turn.
Very good. Tabitha and myself never got along, which is true. I am very intense with basketball, so I'm diligent. I work full-time as well. I work 60 hours a week, and I go to school full-time where I take 18 credits, and I made it to practice. We had no knowledge that Tabitha was going to even play on the game that November because she's had run-ins with another player prior to even becoming on the team. So she wasn't supposed to play. We needed extra bodies. That's why she was there to play. So that November, I felt that why is someone able to play when we have to be at practice diligently, all the time, on time, and practice hard?
So, Miss Johnson, if you had that question, why didn't you ask the coach?
I didn't even know that she was playing.
Just a second. If you had that question, why didn't you ask the coach instead of asking her?
Because I feel that we're adults. I asked her a question.
That's not up to her. It's up to the coach.
The coach never let us know that she was playing. I would have never asked.
Then that's why you would ask the coach.
Right.
You would say, that doesn't seem fair for somebody who doesn't come to practice regularly to be able to play, coach.
I did bring it up to the coach once we went upstairs when it was to my awareness that she was playing at all.
Okay. Let's go to December 6th,
Yes.
2005. Go.
December 6, 2005, we had a basketball game. It's a very intense game. It's a doubleheader. The women's play first and the men play after us. So it's a very packed facility. Just to let you know, I am the star of the team. Just let that be known. And I think that's why we had so much of a problem with one another. Throughout the game, she would keep telling us, pass me the ball, I need the ball more. I'm going on my coach's instructions for us to take over and do what we have to do to make sure that the game is going to be won. I'm not saying that Tabby cannot play basketball. She's just not the most skilled.
Okay.
And that's not, shh. And I'm not the only person with the ball. It's for the women.
So she was asking for the
For the
ball,
ball.
and you didn't want to give her the ball.
I didn't give her the ball.
Okay, go ahead.
So we end up losing by 2. Just to know, I had a very good game.
Good.
And I was upset at the end of the game that we lost the game. So there were a lot of emotions all throughout the team with the coaching staff.
Now, don't tell me about anybody else's emotions.
Okay,
Just
I was
yours.
emotional that we lost. And when we went into the locker room, no one was speaking at all. No one spoke. And when we did have this altercation...
No. Let's start with who said
Okay,
what to whom, Ms. Johnson.
I went to go to the bathroom. Tabitha was changing on the opposite side. She had on a sports bra. She did not have on anything.
What did you say to her?
I didn't say anything. She dramatically covered her chest as if
No,
I
just a
was doing
second.
something.
She covered her chest, and what did
And
you
then I
say
said,
to her?
Tabby, don't worry about it. We're all girls. And then she made a statement about my sexuality.
Just a second. She covered herself wearing her sports... Listen, Miss Johnson, the star. Listen to me carefully.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Some of the other teammates ran into the locker room to separate us. At this point, I guess she already was hit in the eye.
Already hit in the eye by whom?
I don't know. With so many people, I might not have been the person who done it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. College basketball player Tabitha McClammy says former teammate January Johnson attacked her in the locker room after a game. January claims Tabitha was the aggressor.
She's wearing a sports bra.
Yes.
And you said to her, in a very calm, friendly way,
Yes.
we're all girls, Tabby.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
You have to
about
cover
it.
your
And this
breast.
is what you're telling me after you told me that there wasn't any talking in the locker because everybody was really upset. That's what you just told me. That you came back and you were really upset after the game.
I was emotional.
Because, well, you weren't emotional happy, were you?
No, I was sad.
Listen to me. You weren't emotional happy, were you?
No, I was
you
sad.
were emotional sad.
Sad.
So you were upset.
No.
Emotional sad.
Emotional sad.
All right. And then what happened?
Immediately, she said, don't effing say nothing to me. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm not...
No. Don't say anything to me, is what you said.
She said, don't effing say nothing
anything to me. And what did you say to her?
Shut up.
And then what did she say to you?
We were arguing. I don't know.
Just a second. Arguing back and forth. Keep going.
She's in my face. I'm in her face. We are right on top of each other. Her hands were pointing in my face. My hands were pointing in her face.
Keep going.
She pushed me. I pushed her. We started to fight. I didn't want to hit Tabby initially. I was pulling her, going into the bathroom. We were pushing each other into the bathroom. She grabbed my hair.
Now, at some point, one of the teammates...
No one came in yet at all.
When did someone come in and separate you?
When we were inside the bathroom, we were in
That's
the
what
corner
I'm
of the
asking
bathroom.
you.
Yes.
Someone came inside and separated you.
By that
Who
time...
was? Just a second. Who was it?
My witness, she was one of the persons who came in, as well as the teammates came rushing in, and the coach.
And then what happened?
Audrey McAllister, who's my witness, as well as my coaching staff and some of the other teammates, ran into the locker room to separate us. At this point, I guess she already was hit in the eye.
Already hit in the eye by whom?
I don't know. With so many people, I might not have been the person who done it. I'm serious.
Really? Okay. Now, Miss Johnson, put your hand down.
I defended myself, Judge.
Listen
Judy.
to me. You pled guilty to harassment.
I was tired of going to
You
court.
pled guilty to harassment.
Yes, I did. It dropped from assault to harassment.
And you were represented by a lawyer.
Yeah, that I had to pay $2,500 for and go
Absolutely
$95
right.
surcharge for a fight with a teammate.
Just a second. Do you know what it means when you plead guilty in criminal court?
Yes, I do.
Your lawyer told you that.
I was tired of going to court for something that was so minute.
Well, let me explain something to you so that you'll understand that even if your lawyer didn't explain it to you, I'm going to explain it to you now. You were charged with assault in the 3rd degree. You were represented by counsel. Your lawyer advised you at each stage of the proceeding because you paid the lawyer $2,500,
Yes.
according to you. You were found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt on an initial charge of harassment for being the aggressor. Listen to me, pay careful attention. For being the aggressor in an incident that occurred on December 6th, 2005. You were found guilty by your own admission.
Yes.
This is a civil proceeding. The quantum of proof in this proceeding is by a preponderance of evidence. Now, you're smart girls, you're going to be graduating from college soon. Beyond a reasonable doubt is evidence like this. Beyond a doubt that's based on a reason. That's what they would have had to have proven if you went to trial in this case, because that's the burden of proof and the quantum of proof, the amount of proof you need in a criminal proceeding, beyond any doubt that's based on a reason. When you plead guilty in a criminal case, you plead guilty to the same standard, beyond a reasonable doubt. So you pled guilty and were found guilty of the crime of harassment against her for an incident that occurred on December 6th, 2005. And you were found guilty and you had to pay a fine.
$95.
This proceeding, the amount of proof that you need is like this. A little more than not, because this is a civil proceeding, not a criminal proceeding. You don't get an opportunity for a second bite of the apple in a civil proceeding once you have been found guilty in a criminal proceeding beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, if the situation was reversed, let's say you were found not guilty in the criminal proceeding.
She still would be here.
She would.
Because she tries to
Listen
milk
to me,
it.
Miss Johnson, listen to me very carefully.
I
You're
wish
not
you knew
paying
this.
attention. You don't have on your listening ears. So, there isn't even an issue here.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
Tabitha tried to get a full order protection that she was not given from the very first incident. They gave her a limited order protection. However, the limited order protection, which I have a copy here, states that we can play on the same team, we can go to the same school, all these different things. And she called the cops one day, a week later, and almost had me arrested because she saw me on campus. Not to add, we had the fight on December 6th, which was a Tuesday. Tabitha played in a basketball game December 8th, which was a Thursday.
With a black eye.
To me, if you were that hurt, why were you playing in a basketball game? She could have made it worse.
Miss Johnson, my dear,
I
listen to me
defended
very
myself.
carefully. She's not even suing you for pain, suffering, and for any punitive damages. All she's suing you for are her medical bills, which I assume she can document, which are really quite modest considering I've seen the photographs and there was blood in her eye. Nothing to prevent her from playing basketball. She doesn't want you to pay punitively for hitting her. She says she wants you to pay for her medical bills. And you've already been found guilty on proof where? Way up here. Proof way down here. She doesn't have to prove anything else.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely. You're not getting it.
I am getting
And you're a
everything.
smart girl.
I just want my point across because I never was actually able to really say much. I didn't come back around the team after. And then when everything came out and different parties were talking, it was different. With everything going on and everyone talking to her, like, you're dragging this out very long and, you're keeping everything going. She didn't care at all that she was keeping it going.
You mean keeping the dispute going because she kept the criminal proceeding
Yeah,
going?
and I apologized to Tabitha 2 or 3 times, which I was very sorry about. I didn't want to have,
Why did you
do that.
apologize to her?
Because some way her eye was blackened. And I was apologizing
not some way.
that her eye was blackened.
Miss Johnson, you know your problem is?
Yes.
Your problem is you are a smart, articulate girl, but you refuse to accept responsibility for the bad things that you do. You want the accolades and the praise for the good things that you do, but you don't want to say, I was wrong, because 5 minutes ago you said, I don't even know how her eye got black. Maybe somebody else did it during the scuffle. And yet you said to me, I apologized to her 3 or 4 times. You wouldn't, listen to me, you have to learn, along with the roar of the crowd and the accolades of the crowd comes some responsibility. So if you did the wrong thing, and if you said to me, look, I did hit her. I was angry. We got into this scuffle. I shouldn't have hit her. I apologized 3 times for hitting her. And she should have accepted that apology right away and not dragged this matter on so that I had to pay a lawyer and I had to go to court and I got fed up with going to court and I had to plead guilty. It should have all been over. If you had apologized to her immediately, I
did.
Well, then how come you made up an excuse here and said to me under oath, I don't even know if I hit her. Maybe it was somebody else that hit her. All right, you have to pay her medical bills, which she says are $426. Let me see.
Oh, man. I was defending myself, Judge Shine. I really was.
Well, you mean somebody with your mouth was defending themselves and apologized?
I apologized.
Just a second. Was defending themselves because it was self-defense and apologized not once, twice, but according to you 3 times?
We had a
and
team
then pled
meeting.
guilty?
We had a team meeting.
And then pled guilty in criminal
I
court?
was tired of going to court for something so small.
Don't get it. Listen to me. You only have one chance to make a first impression in this world. One chance. Your initial impression to me is a bright, articulate, soon-to-be college graduate on their way up. But there's something innately dishonest about your approach to life. And if you want to be a successful person, what you have to do is to be able to say, I have some strong suits, there are strong things about me, and there are things about me that I got to work on. And if one of them is my temper, I have to work on it.
And I went to 2 anger management class all by myself. I did that from this. I did it by myself.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $426. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Oh, man. It was.
All rise. This is case number 115 on the calendar, the matter of Allen versus Henry. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Allen?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
were the opening act.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, you 2 people are musicians, you sing, you have a band.
That's correct.
You were performing at, I assume, these buildings. And for some reason, you 2 gentlemen, who look like nice, mature people, didn't get along. And you, Mr. Allen, claimed that Mr. Henry, at the end of the concert, caused damage to your musical equipment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Henry says that you assaulted him, and the reason your musical equipment was damaged, if it was at all, is because of that assault, and he is counterclaiming for his injuries. That's what the case is about. Had you ever played at a concert with each other before?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
On what date were you playing?
June 25th, 2005.
Where?
At a family resort near Sacramento, California.
Had you played there before?
Many times.
And you?
No, Your Honor.
So you're a regular at this resort?
Yes.
Are you the regular opening act?
No, I have been the main performer for a number of concerts.
Okay. Tell me how your musical equipment was damaged, Mr. Allen.
After the concert, I was in charge and given the authority and responsibility of closing up the stage building directly behind the stage. I asked Glenn if all of his equipment was outside of the building, and he said yes. I said, I'm closing up the building, and he said, please don't close it. I need to go through it. Glenn wanted the building open so he could bring his equipment through the building. I suggested to Glenn that he drive his truck next to the stage area.
Would you please walk over to that diagram and show me what you suggested he do rather than go through the building in order to get his car?
I believe his vehicle was parked here.
That's inaccurate, Your Honor. The vehicle.
Okay,
It may have been out here,
Okay.
but I thought it was here. For
May have
this
been
case,
behind
it
the
doesn't.
building.
Correct. This is a temporary fence, plastic fence. After the concert, this was taken down.
How were you closing the building, Mr. Allen?
I was
Your Honor, I
inside the
have
building.
something to say, too.
Not now.
Okay.
Later.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Our discussions took place outside the stage building, on the stage.
Okay.
I suggested that Glenn bring his vehicle either here or here to here, rather than having to...
On the grass.
Yes.
Okay. And he wanted to take some equipment out from the stage through the building to the back.
Yes,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
correct so far?
That's correct.
All right. Now, you wanted to leave.
Correct.
And in order for you to leave, you had to secure the building. So you said to him, I'm not leaving the building open while you go inside to get your stuff and take it out. I want you to leave now, out the stage, go get your car and bring it back there to where it says loading area.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Then what happened, Mr. Allen?
I asked Glenn if all
Now
his
step
equipment-
back. Yeah, I already told you what you asked him, and he said, no, I don't want to do that.
Correct.
Okay.
So I entered the stage building and began to close the door. Glenn approached the closed door, put his right foot in between the barn doors.
Was there any reason why you did that, sir, after he said, no, I'd rather take my stuff out through the building? Is there any reason why you just said
Yes,
it would
Your
take
Honor.
an extra 10 minutes, whatever?
Well,
I was almost done.
The next time, I'm just dismissing your counterclaim.
Understood.
Do you understand?
I understand.
That's the way I get even.
Okay.
I don't have to get
understand.
frustrated with you, sir.
I can accept that.
Good. Because, Mr. Henry, what happens is, because you can't follow directions, I must assume that you have a very low threshold of attention and temper. So that doesn't augur well for your position.
Understood.
Good. Now, he's not going to interrupt us again, because
Thank you,
now
Your
there
Honor.
are consequences, stated consequences.
yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't mean that I understand why, sir. You didn't say, listen, it'll take me an extra 10 minutes. I got a guy here who I never met before, who's just being obstreperous. Go take your stuff in and out. Is there any reason why you didn't do that?
Yes. My equipment remained inside the building. I had a lot of sound equipment. There's a lot of lighting equipment in the stage building.
Yeah.
I was performing the next day for a 4-hour solo concert.
So?
It was very late. I had a very long day.
Okay. Well, you know, that's your problem.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. So he put his foot in the door.
Yes.
Okay, and?
And entered the building. He approached me fairly rapidly. I put my hands up like this to slow or stop his approach. He hit me in the nose, and I lost my footing. Then he pushed me very hard, open palm, whereby I fell backwards. With my right arm, I hit one of my guitars resting on a guitar stand. That guitar went through the air and significantly damaged a second guitar, and that's why we're here.
Okay, so that's what your case is about.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay, now, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Your Honor. Initially, when we first started to set up our equipment, my show is quite large. It involves a personnel of 5 musicians and a big show and a big production.
Mr. Henry, get to after the show.
Okay. There was a problem initially with taking the equipment down. Mr. Allen, may I step over to the diagram?
Yes.
He preferred to use this as a loading area when, in fact, this was not a loading area. Your Honor, the manager of the resort explained to me that he did not
Don't
want
tell me what anybody explained to you, sir. Listen to me.
I wasn't permitted to park my car on the lawn.
Okay,
Okay.
fine.
The diagram is accurate.
Where was your car?
My car was out here on the street.
Okay, good.
And the diagram is accurate.
And where is your equipment? Show me
My
your
equipment is on the stage.
Okay.
Some of
and
it.
where is the door?
There's a door here, there's a big stage door here, and there is a door here. However, this is inaccurate. The fence was still there, it had not been taken down. The fence was, in fact, in front of this door here, in front of the door, thus precluding...
Okay, so you could have gotten out the back door and gone to the street.
That's what I was doing, Your Honor.
Okay, fine. So he tells you can't do that, and he starts closing the door. Now that's the point where we're at, Mr. Henry.
Correct. Well, at that point, when I had told him I just have one more piece of equipment, actually 2 more pieces of equipment to take through there.
Or was it 1 or 2?
It was 2. It was my amplifier cabinet and my amplifier.
Okay.
At that point, may I return?
Yes.
Okay. At that point, he did not allow me to pass through the stage door and began to close the stage door as I was actually pushing my amplifier through the stage door. When he was closing the stage door, he was pushing it against my amplifier and my fingers and my foot. I had my fingers in this type manner here, and I was holding the door back, and it was a huge metal door, and he pushed it, and it pinched my finger between the amplifier cabinet and the metal door, Your Honor. And at that point in time, I screamed stop over and over again, and I overpowered the ability of him to hold the door and push the door back. When I pushed the door back, he was staring at me with a cocked fist, and I pushed him, Your Honor, and there's a clear admission that I pushed him, but it was solely for the purpose of preventing him from further harming me. And also, I was placed in a situation of duress, and I see it as a normal human reaction.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
if I made any part of my living using my hands, I would have gotten myself to an emergency room at a
I
hospital.
don't use my pinky finger, Your Honor, to play or to write.
Well, then you don't need it, so what are you suing him for?
Well,
And later today,
Had you met him personally before you sent him the photographs?
No, I haven't.
Well, why in the world would you do something so stupid?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Allen claims fellow musician Glenn Henry assaulted him and damaged his equipment after a show. Glenn is countersuing for an injury to his pinky finger.
Anybody have a police report, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
In the police report, it
Don't tell me what it says in the police report. One of the first things I learned was how to read.
here's the entire police report.
I'll take both, please, Bert. Mr. Henry,
yes, Your Honor.
you embellished the story, sir, that you told me today.
I did not, Your Honor.
Sir, the police officer who took down a report on the day of the incident, and I would assume that your memory was more intact the day of the incident than it is a year or so later.
I was very scattered, Your Honor.
Listen
There's
to
a
me,
lot
you
going
weren't
on.
very scattered at all. You were very precise when you told him exactly what happened. And you said, after the show, we got into another argument because you had had some words before the show started because Mike, that's him, wanted to lock up the building next to the stage. But I still needed it open. Mike tried to close the door on me from the inside, but I stopped it with my foot.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mike started swinging at me and tried to push me out the door. I pushed him away from me to try to protect myself. When I pushed him away, he fell into one of his guitars, knocking it over. So the story that you told the deputy on the day of the incident was different from what you just told me today.
Your Honor, the police couldn't
listen
even
to me. About holding the amplifier and getting your finger caught in the door with the amplifier. You told the police nothing about that.
I did
sir.
explain that to the police, Your Honor. The police couldn't even get my name right.
Police officer was very specific.
He didn't
Mr.
get my
Henry.
name right even. He did not make out a report at the
Very
end scene. He told me he
specific.
wasn't going to make a report out.
Very specific. This is the report you just gave me.
Yeah, he made it out the next day because the plaintiff had called him up with the purpose of an intent to bring about civil litigation. That's why
Listen
he compelled
to me,
him to
sir.
make a report.
He's not telling me what the plaintiff said.
It says it on the
He's telling
report.
me what you told him. He has a whole other version about what Mr. Allen said.
I don't think it was an accurate representation, Your Honor, to be honest with you.
Okay, good.
I did explain to him everything I just explained to you.
Good. Both of you denied that there was any injury.
Correct, Your Honor.
You specifically said, I understand, that's you. He says, this is a quote, I understand nothing will happen anyways, and I don't want to press criminal charges. I am not hurt, and I don't need any medical attention. So that at that time, you told the police the day of the incident that you weren't injured and that you don't need any medical attention. Didn't tell the police officer anything about your swollen finger and anything that you wrote here in your complaint.
Right. I didn't discover it till the next
anything-
morning, Your Honor. Really. And
Listen
honest,
to me. That night, my finger did not have much pain, but the following day, I woke up, my pinky was swollen and throbbing. I had no health insurance and couldn't afford to go to the doctor at the time, so I made my own splint.
Correct.
Ah, Mr. Henry, I don't believe you, Mr. Henry. I don't.
That's what I'm left with.
Mr. Henry, I don't know when that happened, sir. You don't need health insurance to go to an emergency room in a hospital. And if I had a band and if I made any part of my living using my hands, I would have gotten myself to an emergency room at a hospital.
I don't use my pinky finger, Your Honor, to play or to write.
Well, then you don't need it. So what are you suing him for?
Well, Your Honor, I really
That didn't
wasn't-
require an answer, sir.
I wasn't planning on suing him, but he opened the door, Your Honor, so I'm here. I wasn't planning on
Now,
bringing anybody.
I want to know what you claim these two people are witnesses to.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, tell me. What would he testify to, or is he just here for window dressing?
No, I told my friend Vince that after I'd fallen onto the ground, Glenn had grabbed me by my shirt collar and drugged me across the floor.
Well, you're not suing for him for assault, so you're
I
suing him
understand.
for the damaged equipment.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay.
That didn't happen, Your Honor.
Mr. Henry,
Okay.
your counterclaim's dismissed. I always keep my word.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Allen, it slightly pains me to entertain these bills because I really think that you were passive-aggressive that evening. That if you're dealing with somebody who you think is a little off, because clearly you had an altercation with him before this concert started, and if the way to get rid of him is just to hold the door open for another half hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, you just do it. You don't start to have an interaction with somebody who is not behaving rationally. So I'm not totally sympathetic with you, but I believe he behaved badly, and I believe he damaged your property, and I don't believe that his poor Pinky was a result of anything that you did. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,700. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was, in fact, intoxicated during the whole entire event.
As a solo performer, I have to have all my facilities, and I don't drink at all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Longobardi versus Alba. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Jacqueline Longobardi is suing her former online friend, 20-year-old Louis Alba, for an unpaid loan and for publishing risque photos of her on the internet.
Ms. Longobardi, according to your complaint, you met the defendant online when you were having some marital difficulties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were still living with your husband, but you began an online chatting situation with the defendant, and it is your claim two things happened. First, that he borrowed some money from you. Not a lot of money, but you want it back.
Yes.
And second, you claim that very foolishly you sent him some photographs of yourself. Photographs that you would not want published.
Yes.
And he published them
Yes,
on
ma'am.
the internet. So you want to be compensated for that.
Yes.
Let's get to the photographs first.
Okay.
Had you met him personally before you sent him the photographs?
No, I haven't.
Well, why in the world would you do something so stupid?
Yeah, it was an awful mistake.
Well, it was an awful mistake, but you sent him the photographs.
I felt like I really trusted him and that he cared
Why
about
would
me.
you really trust somebody that you never met?
Yeah, I was naive.
Well, you were, but you don't get compensated for that in a court.
Yeah, but he showed my family and my friends. It wasn't right for him to do that. They were
It wasn't
very personal.
right.
I know it wasn't.
Absolutely, it wasn't right.
Yeah.
But you can't stop him. You gave him the photographs. You gave him the photographs and you said, here, look at what you're missing. Stupid. That you don't get compensated for.
Yeah.
Now, just for my own information, why would you take these photographs and do anything to embarrass her?
I didn't take no photographs and embarrass her.
What'd
The
you
only
do with
photograph I had of her was her in a nightgown, and even that didn't show anything.
So what did you do with it?
I erased it. I deleted it as soon as she started getting depressed because I didn't love her.
You mean you put it on whatever you do with that
No.
machine that I don't operate?
No, I deleted them.
Okay. All right. So I don't even have to deal with the photographs. Because whether he published them or not, they're his photographs.
Well, she did. I mean, they showed my mother, my husband.
Well, that was your stupidity.
Yeah.
You showed them to a stranger.
Well, we were talking for months. I mean, it wasn't something I just instantly
Oh, I
did.
knew you for
He's a
months.
stranger.
He built up a lot of trust. And
He's a stranger.
Stranger danger.
I mean, people who use this internet are so stupid. I just don't understand it. More and more, you hear more and more people falling into traps. People that they've never met. It's just mind-boggling to me how people could be so stupid. But anyway, I don't compensate people for being stupid, madam. So if you sent pictures to him, this stranger that you had never met, that you wouldn't want your mother to see, that's your problem.
yeah, definitely.
Now, let's get to the money. When did you allegedly loan him money?
On April 10th, 2006,
How much money did you allegedly lend him?
$270.
Did you receive $270?
Yes.
What did you need the money for?
Well, actually, I needed $1,000 to hire a programmer for a personal business I wanted to run. But with the $270, I couldn't do anything.
So why didn't you return it?
I didn't because she said she was going to sell her car and help me with the $1,000. So I just kept it in the savings account.
So you mean you have it?
Or currently, no.
Well, what'd you do with it?
I paid internet bills and I had some other stuff I had to pay. So I just used it for that.
Well, that wasn't your arrangement with her, was it?
We never really had an arrangement. She just gave it to me as
Well, no, she
for me
gave it to
hold
you
on.
because she said you needed it for your business.
Yes.
You didn't use it for your business.
I couldn't use it for a business. I needed $1,000, not $270.
Listen to me. You didn't use it for your business.
Yes, I know.
So why didn't you return it to her?
Because she told me to hold on to it until she can give me the rest of the $1,000. So over the
Well,
months I
now
was
she's
waiting
not
for
giving
it.
you the rest of the $1,000.
I know, and I told her if she would have asked me or contacted me, I could have gave her money back.
I
instead
did
of
contact.
being-
Just so, don't
I'm
interrupt.
sorry.
She didn't even contact me.
Well, now she contacted you. Surprise,
Yeah.
you're here. What did
And
you
I
think
even
you
told
were
her.
coming here for?
I even told her that
What
I'd
did you
give
think
her
you
money
were-
back if she would just call off this case, because it's just a waste of time.
Of course it's a waste of time, sir.
Yes.
You asked if...
Yes.
Doesn't that hair in front of your face bother you?
No.
I must tell you, Mr. Alva,
Yes.
it bothers the people looking at you.
They don't like it?
Well, I don't like it.
Oh.
Feel as if I'm looking at you through a curtain.
Yeah.
You owe her $270, smarty pants.
Yeah.
You took advantage of her.
No, I didn't take advantage of her.
Just listen to me.
But I
don't
didn't.
Don't answer me back. Who is this?
Oh, she was my witness at the time. She gave me the 270.
Just a second.
She was there.
And who is this?
Which one?
Him.
Him? That's her father. He has nothing to do with the case.
Then what is he here for?
I don't even know. I don't even know why he's here.
You know, Mr. Alva, maybe if you had a more reasonable hairdo, you'd figure out what was going on, which way was up. You owe her $270. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Step out.
Parties are all rise. Yeah, this is case number 592 on the calendar in the matter of Philbrick versus Hillkirk. You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Philbrick, you have been the boyfriend of the defendant's mother
Yes.
for a period of time.
Yes.
And it is your claim that sometime last year, the defendant moved into a home that you shared with her mother and another roommate?
That's correct.
And the agreement was that she was to pay rent and
Correct.
1/4 of the utilities of the house. It is your claim that she stayed with you for 6 months, and at no time did she pay any rent or utilities. You ultimately evicted her. You want the money.
That's correct.
The defendant says that there was never an agreement to pay rent, and there was a problem that was created by your actions with her that caused her to leave the house. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Who do you work for?
Starbucks Coffee Company.
What do you do for them?
I'm a barista.
How long have you worked for them?
Over 6 months now, a little over 6 months.
And prior to that, where were you working?
I wasn't working. I was staying with him and trying to go to school.
That's your boyfriend?
He was, but he's not anymore. We're good friends now.
Okay. Mr. Philbrick, when did the defendant move in with you?
She moved in 1st of September of 06.
Was she working at the time?
No, she was not.
So at the time that she moved in with you, there was no expectation at that time that she was going to start to pay rent from the day she moved in.
She had a car that she was going to sell, and the proceeds from the sales of that car was going to go towards her share of the first month's rent and utilities.
You didn't say that in your complaint, sir. What you said was that you floated her the first month's rent because she wasn't working.
Correct. With the understanding that she was going to sell the car for the first month's rent. And then when she did get her job, she was going to start paying her share of the rent and utilities.
Well, that I understood from your complaint, but you left out the part of selling the car. Is that the only car that she owned?
Yes.
How was she supposed to get to work without a car?
Well, she wasn't driving the car at all.
Why?
Because it was a really old car, and I'm a really bad driver, so I just didn't want to drive it.
Did you make an arrangement with Mr. Philbrick to sell the car?
No.
Did you sell the car?
I did.
Would you listen to me? Look at me. Look at me. If you can't control yourself, go outside. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're distracting me.
I did sell the car after I moved out of the house.
How much did you get for the car?
I got $1,500, and I used that money to put a down payment to buy a car that I can drive to work now.
You mean you became a better driver?
No, I just got a smaller car.
Okay. It just doesn't sound right to me, sir, that somebody sells a car and moves in with her mother and her mother's boyfriend and says, for the first month's rent, I'm going to sell the only means of transportation and the only money that I'm going to have to give you rent. Now, after the first month, she got a job, right?
Yes.
How much were you earning?
$150 a week, maybe. And they asked me to get more hours.
Who asked you?
Lucian and my mother. Well, the agreement was when I moved into the house with them, my mother and I were to both get jobs. And I did that within a month, and she didn't get a job at all.
And just a second, just do me a favor. Put her outside. When I need her, I'll call her.
Okay.
Your mother's working has nothing to do with you. So let's forget your mother. So your agreement was, your name is Lucian?
Yes.
Was that you would get a job.
Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it as a great opportunity.
Could you look, not look over there, you could look right here.
Yeah. I was looking at it as a great opportunity for my mother and I to work on a relationship because she had disappeared for 1.5 years before we even moved in together. I mean, I hadn't talked to her at all, and...
You needed a place to live.
I didn't. I was living fine with him, and we were still dating at the time.
Well, listen to me. If you're living just fine with your boyfriend, sleeping just fine with your boyfriend, not fighting with your boyfriend, able to cover your bills with your boyfriend, you don't move in with your mother and her boyfriend. That doesn't happen because you want to work on your relationship with your mother. That doesn't happen.
I'd never had her in my life.
Listen, that sounds like a sad story. What I'm telling you is a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old doesn't leave the boyfriend to move in with her mother. It goes the other way. It's like people, when they get older, they move to Florida. They don't come from Florida and move to Wisconsin, where it's cold. Do you understand? What happens is teenagers, if they're living with their boyfriend and they're happy and everything is good, they don't move home with their mother. So let's move beyond that, because I don't want you to think that I'm stupid. Go ahead.
I wanted to focus on myself. I wanted to get back in school. She said that she was going to help me get back into school. She wanted that for me, and I really did want to work on my relationship with her. As silly as that sounds, I really, really, really did.
You don't have to live under her nose to work on your relationship with her. As a matter of fact, that usually works just the opposite way. If you're living under the nose of your mother and you're an adult and you have a boyfriend, it usually doesn't help a relationship. What helps a relationship with your mother, if you're a grown-up, is if you live in your house and she lives in hers and you meet for lunch Monday and Wednesday.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't know what you all are doing here. You are the most dysfunctional bunch of people that I ever saw, but you don't belong in court, you belong in therapy.
And later today,
I was going through a lot, and she was helping me out, and at the same time, I was trying to help her out, too.
How were you helping her out?
Because she needed money, too.
You didn't give her any money!
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lucian Philbrick says his girlfriend's daughter, Heather Hilkert, moved out of his home owing for rent and bills. Heather claims Lucian made sexual advances toward her.
So you started to work making $150 a week. Mm-hmm. What do you claim, sir, she owes you for rent and utilities for the 6 months that she was working there?
$33.90 Your Honor.
$33.90. Is that right?
Yes.
Divided by 6 equals $565 a month. And let's say on the outside she was earning $600 a month, leaving her $35 a month for other things.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Right? How did you expect her to do that?
That is why when I sat down with her, I told her that she needed to get another job or more hours.
When did you tell her that?
I told her this in probably, I believe, around October of '06.
So when did you evict her?
We asked her to leave in January, and she finally moved out in March.
Well, what happened between January and March? Did she pay rent?
She paid some money, but that money went towards the cell phone bill.
How much money did she give you?
$720.
How much did you give him?
I don't know. I just gave him what I could just to help out with bills and this and that just because I wanted to. But there was no talk of rent. There was no talk of anything. There was no due date of rent. There was
No. Shh.
Don't speak. There was nothing like that. The only time that came up was after I went to my mother with concerns that Lucian was coming on to me. Like, he would always, it was just making me really uncomfortable. Like, he would come to my door, he would knock in all hours of the night, ask me to drink shots with him, and he would say, "I'll leave you alone if you have a shot with me, Heather." And, you know, I don't drink. I'm under the age of 21. I don't drink at all. And it was just really getting to me. I mean, like, he was there, and I would have him there.
Well, then let me ask you this question, Ms. Hilkert. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you move out and move back with your boyfriend?
Because I really did love my job, and it was right down the street. I didn't have a car at the time that I was driving, so...
Just a minute. So you were prepared to live in an uncomfortable situation because it was convenient for you?
No, he would stay with me most of the time, just so I didn't have to be uncomfortable.
Just a second. So he would stay in your mother's house with the plaintiff. What happened to his apartment?
And I would stay with him sometimes too. We would switch back and forth.
He's got a car.
Yeah, on my days off.
So why didn't he take you to work?
He did. That's why he stayed over. Sometimes I'd have
Why didn't you stay in his apartment and he'd take you to work?
Because he lived over a half an hour away drive. He lived in a whole nother city, so I couldn't do that.
What city does he live in?
He lives in Downey, and we lived in Santa Ana.
You mean in Downey where he lives there isn't a Starbucks? I'm going to alert the media.
No, there are, but I just really liked all my coworkers.
This whole thing sounds so peculiar to me. It's hard for me to get you. It's really hard for me to understand either one of you. Who did you live with from the time you were 18 until the time you were 20?
I lived with him.
And what about when you were 17?
I lived with my grandparents. I've never lived with my mother.
Where do your grandparents live?
They live in Huntington Beach.
Why did you leave your grandparents' house?
Because I wanted to try to face the world on my own.
How old were you when you wanted to try to face the world on your own?
18.
All right. Anything else you want to tell me?
Just when every time I kept asking her for money, she gave me some.
Who's we?
Me and her mother.
And she said what?
She either said, well, when I get paid, and we asked her when she got paid, and one of the last straws was in December.
Good. So then you finally evicted her, is that right?
Yes.
Well, nice, very nice. So her mother evicted her, is that right?
Yes.
Did you get another roommate?
Not yet.
Why not?
We have decided that at this point in time that we didn't want to get another roommate. We're going to try and stick it out by ourselves.
That's a very good idea. So cover the rent yourself, because you're not getting it from her. She moved in with her mother. She got a job. Nobody gave her any money, which is unusual for a 20-year-old. She got a part-time job. She was living not with you. She was living with her mother, who was also a signatory to the lease. Is that right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
But Your Honor,
I would be much more impressed if her mother sued her for the rent, sir, instead of putting you up there.
well, since all the bills were in my name, it was,
Yeah, and I especially feel no compassion for you since after she moved out, you've decided that you're going to keep this house just for the three of you, her mother, and you the roommate? And the roommate, because you don't want to be bothered with anybody else. And I don't blame you, but you have no out-of-pocket, especially since you decided to keep the house yourself. Your lawsuit is dismissed. Now bring in her mother, because she's got a lawsuit against her mother that I'm also singularly unimpressed with, but I'm going to give him a short amount of time for me to hear it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He can go or stay, makes no difference to me. Over there. No, he can stay there. I could figure out what side he's on. Over there. Okay, it's your claim that your mother assaulted you while you were driving in a car. Your mother says that she did in fact argue with you, but there was no assault. So let's start with the date.
It was January 17th, 2007.
Go ahead.
I went to her with concerns about her boyfriend, Lucian. I told her I was uncomfortable with the way he was approaching me. He would come to my room, he would always try to put his arm around me, like caress my back, and all my friends didn't want to come over either because they were also,
Don't tell me what your friends didn't want to come over. I'm not interested in if friends didn't want to come over.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, when I went to her with these concerns,
Where did you go to her?
We were driving home from my job. I had 2 shifts that day. I was going to have lunch at home real quick. And I told her that I felt really uncomfortable. She went insane. She went ballistic. And this is the pictures this is what happened. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't file a police report. I didn't do anything because she was my mother.
Do you want to please tell me what happened?
Well,
ballistic is a word.
She went insane. She grabbed my arm. She started flailing at me. She would I didn't know what to do. I pulled her hair to subdue her. But she was like, I've never seen her like that. And she sped off after she stopped the car. She stopped it in the middle of the street. She stopped the car and she sped off. She went to the house. She got out of the car. She was like, get out of the car. Don't ever talk about Lucian like that. And she was trying to get into my door on the other side. I locked up both doors. She finally went inside the house. I ran inside the house and I locked myself in the room.
Your mother assaulted you?
Yes.
And left marks on your arm?
Yes.
That was January 17th?
Yes.
You were afraid of her?
Yes.
When did you move out of the house?
I moved out in...
Look at me!
I moved out in March.
What did you do between January 17th and March when you finally moved out?
I was trying to save up a little bit of money so I could move out.
Why didn't you move in with your boyfriend?
He stayed with me, but again, I had to go to work. I wanted to stay at
And
my
I'm
job.
going to ask the same question that I asked you the last time you gave me the same nonsense. There are no Starbucks in Downey?
There are, but they're not the same coworkers. And I was never alone.
Yeah, so what you're telling me is that despite the fact that you were afraid of your mother because she had assaulted you, and I'm speaking, and gone ballistic,
yes,
you chose to stay in the house for an additional 2 months because you liked your coworkers.
Never alone. Never, ever, ever alone.
I don't care whether you were alone or not. You know you're a lot of nonsense? Do you know you're a lot of baloney? I don't know why you're here. I don't know what you all are doing here. You are the most dysfunctional bunch of people that I ever saw, but you don't belong in court, you belong in therapy. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She just started partying all hours of the night and was making loud noises.
It's them partying at night, him coming to me in the middle of the night, telling me, knocking on my door, come have a shot with me, come party with us.
That's unheard of.
It's just unspeakable. I just can't believe that she even said that.
I wanted us to have a good relationship.
What relationship?
We never had a relationship, and I was really looking forward to working on one with my mother. She is my mother.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Williams versus Hall. Step forward.
Teacher's aide Melissa Williams is suing her former friend, 22-year-old Cynthia Hall, for unpaid babysitting fees.
Miss Williams, it's your claim that the defendant owes you for babysitting for her child.
Yes.
And Ms. Hall says that the arrangement was you were supposed to be paid by the state, and it's your own fault that you weren't paid because you didn't complete a process for being a certified daycare provider. Is that your defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you start babysitting for her child?
I started babysitting on September 4th of 2006.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did you find her?
She was a neighbor. She lived behind me in an apartment complex, and we've been friends for about 2 or 3 years.
You have a boy or a girl?
I have a little boy.
What kind of job did you find?
Sales associate at Walmart.
How much did you agree to pay her?
Whatever we had agreed on what the state was paying would be fine.
And how much was the state paying?
I think it was $2.35, $2.50 an hour.
No.
What was the agreement, Miss Williams?
Well, I talked to Mrs. Cynthia Hall on several occasions. She brought it to my attention that she needed a daycare provider, which I did.
I asked you a question.
Yes, you did.
Stop thinking about what you want to tell me and start thinking about the answers to the questions.
Yes.
I asked you how much was it agreed that you would be paid by her?
$1.35 an hour.
Well, that's nowhere near the minimum wage,
No.
so that's a pretty reasonable amount of money, Miss Hall, $1.35 an hour.
The state pays $2.35 an hour.
I don't care
$2.50.
what the state pays. She didn't get certified by the state. How long did you leave your child with her?
8 hours a day for probably, I think it was 2.5, 3 weeks maybe.
And what happened to your job?
I still have my job.
What did you do with your child?
I found other arrangements.
Why?
Because I got denied and she lied to me and told me that she had a child care provider.
You were denied state assistance for daycare
Yes, ma'am.
with her.
Yes, because the information wasn't filled out correctly.
She didn't fill out the forms correctly? Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
what you're saying to me? So you think you don't have to pay her?
If she wouldn't have lied to me...
No, just answer my question. Take your hands out of your pockets. She watched your child, and was your child well and healthy during the time she watched your
ma'am.
child? So you were able to go to work every day?
Yes, sometimes she was late or I'd be late and
I can
sometimes-
imagine you were late. Put your hands down at your sides. Very good. So, let me ask you this question, madam.
Yes.
If you go to a diner and you eat and they give you a bill, do you pay the bill?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Why?
Because I ate.
Right. Miss Williams watched the most precious thing that I assume you have in the world. That's your child. For, according to you, 3 weeks. She is requesting the modest sum of $1.35 an hour. How much were you making in Walmart?
I was making $7.25 an hour.
Which, even after taxes, gives you probably $5 an hour. So you don't think you have to pay her anything?
That's not the whole issue was I was having problems at the time, and she knew this, that I was having problems. I was staying with my sister. I've been homeless all summer, and not only that, I had just found a job, and she knew that I didn't have money right then and there to pay her. She knew that I had to get everything together. You know what I'm saying? As far as my apartment and everything like that, and just getting around. And I was like 8.5 months pregnant. I mean, I was going through a lot, and she was helping me out, and at the same time, I was trying to help her out, too.
How were you helping her out?
Because she needed money, too.
You didn't give her any money!
But I'm saying...
Miss Hall.
Thank you.
She related to you?
No.
Did she make you pregnant? Did she make you homeless?
No. But she was supposed to be my friend.
She needed income just like you did.
I know.
So pay her the money. Big baby. She's suing you for the modest sum of $216 for watching your child for 3 weeks. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Ms. Papp, according to what I read, you and the defendant lived together for about 10 years.
Yes, ma'am.
During that time, sort of the end of that period of time, there was a car purchased. The car was purchased for you. It was purchased by Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
And there was an agreement that you would make the payments on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
You broke up. He told you to leave. You did. And you took the car with you and made payments on it, according to you.
Yes.
And for no good reason, Mr. Sandoval took the car back, even though you were making payments.
Yes.
And you say that he had no reason to do that, so you want all the money that you put in to the car. Mr. Sandoval says that you were either late or you missed some payments, and then you got arrested and went to jail, and he repossessed the car. You are also claiming that Mr. Sandoval trashed a lot of your stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sandoval says that he gave you plenty of opportunity to come and get it. When you didn't come and get it, he threw it away.
I donated it.
You donated it. And Mr. Sandoval then has a counterclaim because he says you stole some checks that belonged to him.
She did.
Okay. So let me hear about this arrangement for the car.
Okay. We both work for the same company. We live together as a blended family. I raised his children. He helped. You know, we have 4 between us. And then business got slow right after 9/11, and we his boss decided to close the door and not renew his business license, so I was laid off immediately. Mike had to continue to work because he had to tie up loose ends with the customers. So he said, we'd be okay for a few months, so I started looking for work in December. And then come the 1st of January, I got a job. So we had like 4 company vehicles and everything at the house.
Could you speak slowly?
We had 4 company vehicles, so I got to drive one of the trucks all the time. So then Mike said, I don't know how much longer we'll have this one truck, so you better start saving for a car. So come February...
What year are we talking
2002. About? So February, Mike asked me how much money I had saved, and I went and got my money out of my closet, which was in the garage that he built for me, and I had $1,000, and Mike was all proud of me, and I was excited.
Could we fast forward a little bit,
Anyway,
please?
I had saved $1,000. Mike said he would help me because he didn't want me to get taken advantage of being a woman out looking for a car.
Could you fast forward, please? Bought a car. The agreement was that you would
The
make
agreement was I'd pay him.
The agreement was that you would make the payments on it.
Yes.
When did you get the car?
In March of 2002.
What were the payments?
$201.
Due when?
On the 15th.
And were you supposed to make those payments to him or to the bank correctly?
To him.
Even though you were living together as a blended family?
Yes. I had to pay half of everything.
I don't care about half of everything. I'm talking about strange...
I paid everything. Our agreement.
Shh. I don't care about half the bills. You had half the family there. Half the bills is fine. Sir, didn't you understand? I saw you put your hand up. You don't have to go to the bathroom, do you?
No.
Then just wait.
Okay.
$201 is paid directly to him on the 15th of each month. And April 2002 was your first payment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you pay him by check or cash?
Money order.
And you have copies of those?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see them, please? You're supposed to pay him $205 or $201?
It was $201.99. I just made it $205 each month.
Is that right, Mr. Sandoval?
It was $201.99, and she made it
$205.
$205 every month.
So the answer is yes. Well, I see in December you only paid
$105.
$105.
Yes, ma'am. I paid him $105 with a balance of $97. He got belligerent. Like on the 11th, he went to the doctor, and I called him after work and said how'd it go because something was wrong with his kidneys. And anyway, that night when we got home, he was saying to his son, how come the C person hasn't left yet? And he's calling me all these vulgar names in front of his son. So we were just hoping he'd fall asleep and pass out and go to bed. So I just ignored it. And the next morning, he called me at work and said, why aren't you out of the house yet? Why aren't you out of the house yet? And called me every name there is. And so I went and stayed with my children who don't live with me anymore. And I stayed there a few nights till he calmed down.
How old are your children?
They are 18 and 20.
Who do they live with?
They lived with their dad.
When did they move out and live with their dad?
About a year and a half ago.
About 3 years ago when she went to jail.
For what?
She went to jail for credit card fraud. And I called her dad up and said, I'm not paying for them. Come and get your kids.
That is not true, Your Honor.
And their dad finally come and got them. It took me a while to get them out of there, but their dad did come and get them because she got 1 year in the county jail.
I object.
And I wasn't about to continue paying for her kids.
Okay.
She objected to going to jail, too.
That is not true.
Miss Papp, just wait until I speak to you. Okay. Do you understand? That doesn't answer why you only gave him $105 in December.
Because
Shh. You're supposed to pay him $202.
Right, I had a balance of $97 that I had talked to him that I was going to give him like in the next week, which wasn't a problem. I mean, we lived together.
Were you arrested in January?
Your Honor, she did not live there at that time.
Were you arrested in January?
I left. He choked me, Your Honor.
Would you answer my question?
Because of him.
You were arrested in January.
December 31st.
On a no bail warrant. That's not because of me.
Mr. Sandoval.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You were arrested on December 31st. By December 31st, had you in fact paid the other $97?
No, I did not.
So you breached your agreement with him?
Yes.
Good.
$97.
I don't care what it was, $97 or $197
yes,
or whatever. You breached your agreement with him.
But we had talk. I mean, I've been with this guy, and I just lost my mother. You know, it's like I had a balance of $97. I just paid him $700 for my car insurance for the whole year.
When did you, Mr. Sandoval, take the car back?
I took the car back January 17th. I think I repossessed the vehicle.
From where?
From where her kids stay, not at their dad's, but her kids stay at a friend's house.
Was she in jail at the time?
She was in jail because she tried to break in my home on December 31st, and my daughter called the police. and the police caught her in the neighbor's yard, and she had and my son was also out there, which is a witness. She had all her cat burglar stuff on. She had gloves on.
Yeah, she's lying.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I see you don't like each other anymore.
That's not true.
Well, if you still like him after what he said about your children after 10 years, then what I'm telling you is you got a screw loose.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathleen Papp says ex-boyfriend Michael Sandoval gave away her clothes and other belongings. Michael says she abandoned the property.
Mr. Sandoval, can you
lying.
just answer my questions? I would just like to get through with this case, get the information that I need. You repossessed the car on or about January 17th.
Yes.
Had you received any car payment on January 15th?
No.
Did you make any car payment on January 15th?
He took the car January 15th, and no, I did not.
Shh, just a minute. By January 15th, had you made a payment of the $97
No, ma'am.
that you owed him?
I did
All right,
not.
so you were in breach of the agreement. You were entitled to nothing on your complaint.
She was
With
in
regard
jail.
to the, I'm speaking.
Okay.
I'm going to handle this my way.
Okay, sorry.
I see you don't like each other anymore.
No, that's not
just
true.
fine.
That's not true.
Well, if you still like him after what he said about your children after 10 years, then what I'm telling you is you got a screw loose. So can we get to the next part of your complaint? Just answer my questions, Miss Papp. It's late and I'm tired. You're not entitled to anything on the car. You breached your contract.
For $97?
Well, it wasn't $97. At this point, it's $97 for one. I'm speaking. $97 for 1 month, and January's car payment you failed to make on time as well. So that's not $97. That's $202 plus $97. You are now a month and a half in arrears. He's entitled to repossess the car. Period. End of discussion. Now, let us move on to...
Your Honor.
I'm speaking. Let us move on to the stuff that you did not get out of the house. When did you get rid of her stuff?
I got rid of it December the 31st.
What did you get rid of?
9 boxes of clothes. She had already taken... Okay.
When did she move out of the house, Mr. Sandoval?
In August of 2002.
Where did she move to?
She moved to Ray and Geneva's house, some
I
friends
object.
of mine.
I object. They're not friends of his. He's lying. He's lying.
Are you on medication?
No.
Then you better learn to be quiet unless I'm talking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
So she was not living there in
No,
December.
she was not.
She wasn't living there in November.
No, she was not.
May I speak?
Not yet.
He's not being truthful. I have something else I need to say.
I didn't. There's not a question before you, madam.
Because I took
There
him
is
to-
not a question before you.
I took him before to court. We made an agreement.
About what?
This car.
What do you mean you took him to court
Yeah,
before?
in
about the
March.
car?
I originally see. Shh. I need to explain myself because he's
No,
being
no, no.
honest.
Pay attention to me. You took him to court before in March of 2003?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see a judge?
Yes.
Did the judge make an order?
He asked us to go out in the hall and make an agreement. We
The
did.
judge dismissed it.
Listen, please. We made an agreement. We came back in. He said, okay, come back April 10th, and we'll see if everything's okay. Mike said, you have till 7 o'clock tonight to give me that $600 for the car payment. Well, January, February, March, his daughter's been driving my car. Yes, he took it January 15th out of my girlfriend's driveway.
Oh, please. I'm not interested, Miss Papp. You breached the agreement. Period.
How
End of
did-
discussion.
You know,
I'm asking you.
why am I going to be out $4,000? And then, on top of it, the reason I left him is because he choked me. And look at this, my dresses, he went in my closet and stabbed all my dresses. Like, there were 20 stab holes in like this. There are stab holes in this one that he's
I'm
done
going
to
to
me.
give you one more second to close your mouth unless I ask you a question. Otherwise, I'm dismissing your entire claim. Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand?
Yes.
The next time you interrupt, speak out of turn.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm dismissing your entire claim without giving you any further opportunity to speak. Do we understand
Yes,
each other?
ma'am.
I want to know where you were living in October of 2002.
I had stayed at my girlfriend Geneva's.
That's all. That's the answer.
Yes.
I want to know where you were living in November of 2002.
Really, most of the
I
time.
want to know where you were living.
With Mike.
That's not true at all.
That is not true. I'm going to give it to you again. Where were you living in November of 2002?
Geneva's, but I was with him all the time, Your Honor.
Okay. When did you get rid of her stuff?
January 31st.
Tell me under what circumstances you got rid of her stuff. First you told me it was December.
It was December 31st.
Get it straight.
It is.
I don't want to hear you.
I got a lot of dates. It was January the 31st. I did ask her to move in August. She did, but we continued dating some until December. The whole time I wanted her to get her things out. She had all her.
So what you're telling me, sir, is
I didn't speak.
Then put your hand down. Then I'm going to modify my prior order, which is if you either speak or in any way interrupt these proceedings, I'm going to dismiss your claim.
Yes, ma'am.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Sandoval, is that while she was living at her friend Geneva's, you were dating, and occasionally she was sleeping at your house.
That's correct.
That's more truthful. And she had some property there.
That's correct.
And she had some property there up until the time you probably had a major altercation on or about December of 2002.
That's exactly right.
And then in January of 2003, you donated her property.
This is right. But this is after I've requested from her many times to remove it. I've asked her children to remove it.
Mr. Sandoval, when just prior to December 31st did Miss Papp sleep in your home?
In December.
You understand, Mr. Sandoval, you cannot have it both ways. You may be saying to her, get your stuff out of the house. I don't want to have anything more to do with you. But in your spare time, if you have some free time, come on over and we'll take a roll in the hay. If she had moved out of your house in August, and from August until December, you had been sending her notes, sending her registered mail, and saying to her, move all of your stuff out of the house. I'm giving you 30 days. And she didn't do it. You would have had every right up until that time to donate her stuff. Do you understand?
Yes, I did do what you said, but it was from December to January, which is 45 days.
It's not enough time.
I gave her 45 days.
It's not enough time.
And it was not...
It's not enough time. You had a 10-year physical and emotional relationship with her. And if you chose to cut it off in August, and probably excellent judgment, then what you shouldn't have done was accept her sexual favors up until December. We understand each other, sir. So you boxed up clothing and gave it away, along with other personal property that she had, or just clothing?
Just 9 boxes of clothes that she no longer used anyway, just stuff she had left, because she had already taken the majority of her stuff. It was just the stuff that she just never wore anyway. I said,
whatever,
Kathleen, get
it was
out.
there and you wanted it out of your house.
This is correct.
Okay. Now, other than clothing, was there anything else that you claim he discarded?
Yes, I have a...
I don't want to see that whole tome, madam, because I don't believe a lot of what you say. Tell me what you left.
I was just at the house a week ago, and my stuff is still there in the house, everything.
Like what?
Excuse me?
We weren't there.
Like what?
Like stuff my parents left me, my everything in the kitchen, bathroom, all my pictures, all my videos, everything in our bedroom. There's stuff my mother left me, painted the statuary bookends. They're in his office in the garage. I just seen him the other day, and yes, I was with him. Yes, I was there with him, with Mike.
That is not true at all, Your Honor.
It is. We just went out the other day.
Okay. Court, I will enter an order, and I'm sure Mr. Sandoval won't mind, that 5 days from now, put your hand down. Your case is dismissed. Your case is dismissed. Do you understand?
I'm sorry.
Maybe I have to, I have to hit you over the head with it. But I'm going to enter an order 5 days from today. And the order 5 days from today is that in the company of a peace officer, Ms. Papp is going to be able to come to your house, sir. Go through your house, go through your garage, go through anything that she wants to with a police officer.
Okay.
And anything that she indicates that is hers from her mother's teapot, her mother's photograph, any of that stuff, she's going to take.
Okay.
In addition to that, I am awarding her $250 for her clothing that you threw out, because I believe that since she was in fact gone all but sometimes since August, that most of her clothing that she wanted was with her. But you had no right to discard whatever leftover stuff she decided to leave at your house. You had no right to do that. And I'm going to suggest this to you, Mr. Sandoval. Ms. Papp is not totally balanced. Well, I don't know about you, but I know she is not. So I am going to strongly suggest to you that neither you nor your children do anything to throw away, to destroy, to do anything with regard to any property that you may come across that belongs to her, that inadvertently was left behind by her. This does not include household appliances, furniture, mattresses, tables and chairs, anything else. We're talking about sentimental items that she left behind. Do you understand?
Yes, I've tried
and that
giving
will
her that.
clearly be stated in the order.
Okay.
Now, I want you to tell me about these checks, because that's your counterclaim.
When she was at my house sometime in December, she stole a checkbook from me. I've got a list here of a bunch of checks at all these different stores. In fact, that's how she paid me the December car payment, is with one of my stolen checks, the money she got.
Have you reported that to the police?
Yes, I have.
Are they following it up?
They are. They can't find her. They can't catch her.
What do you mean they can't get? She's right here. Listen to me, Mr. Sandoval. As soon as there is a conviction in that case, because I assume that you do not have a handwriting expert here, is that right?
That's right.
As soon as there is a conviction in the criminal proceeding, barring any unforeseen eventuality, it is an automatic judgment in your favor in a civil proceeding. But right now, you are not prepared to go through a civil proceeding, sir.
Your Honor, the person that works at Albertsons that she cashed the checks from lives on our block. I have her phone number here. And you
don't care what you have.
She'll ID that she cashed my checks.
I don't care what you have, sir.
Okay.
I'm not calling a witness to, in effect, give testimony in what would be a criminal proceeding before she's even been arrested, charged. Do you understand? You understand me, sir?
I understand you.
Perfect. And if you knew the plaintiff was going to be here today, and if the police couldn't catch her, you should have let them know that she was going to be here today. They could have come and executed the warrant. Do you understand?
I'm not a police officer. I didn't think about that.
Well, you should have if you said they couldn't catch her, sir.
That's what they tell me, because I've asked them several times. How come you haven't done nothing?
Should have let them know she was going to be right here, trying her civil case. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $250 in the order as indicated. Thank you. Step out.
Spears, parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. May I have a seat? You're welcome.
Private Rivera, Miss Spears was your girlfriend, and before you were deployed to Iraq, you gave her a power of attorney over some of your finances. It is your claim in this complaint that she took the money out of your account against your wishes and used it, and you want your money back.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Spears says that when you gave her power of attorney over your finances, you told her to use the money as she saw fit, and she saw fit to spend it because she needed it. When were you deployed to Iraq?
I went on the boat on January 15th, and we deployed on January 21st, ma'am.
Did you have a bank account?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
In what bank?
Washington Mutual.
And when did you first notice that Miss Spears was spending money?
Well, about a month after I deployed, and when I went to Singapore, I should have had about $1,600 in my account, and I had about $400.
Did you call her?
I asked her why she spent all the money. She said she spent money on some things. She needed to buy some things. When I was on my way to Iraq, we passed through Hawaii, and she told me that she had cervical cancer, and she had to use my money to pay for the surgery to get the cancer removed, which is $300 is what she said.
And did you say okay?
I said that's fine. Obviously, it was an emergency. She didn't have. She told me she didn't have medical insurance at the time, so.
You don't have treatment for cervical cancer for $300, Private Rivera.
That's what I said, ma'am. And I mean, in my mind, I was thinking I didn't say that to her at the time, but what I thought is that it was an abortion because before I had left, she told me that she was pregnant with my child, and I argued with her mom for about 2 hours before I left. Her mom was saying she wants her to have an abortion and stuff, and then when I left, it just so happens that she had cervical cancer.
Ms. Spears, when were you diagnosed with cervical cancer?
I went in for surgery on the 31st of January, 2003.
And what was your course of treatment?
I had a cancerous lesion on my cervix. I had to get that removed, and I was pregnant at the time, but I have medical history, papers saying that the fetus was collapsing, there was no fetal growth, I would have had a miscarriage, and I couldn't do the surgery if I was pregnant. So I had to go ahead and do the DNC.
Did you have any follow-up treatment after they removed the lesion?
I have to go back every 3 months to monitor the cancer.
And you used some of the money for that. How much?
I couldn't tell you. I was under my mom's medical insurance. I never told Michael that I didn't have medical insurance.
So that was the first time, Private Rivera, that you noticed that money was missing.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not happy about that.
No, I was not.
So why didn't you direct that your direct deposit be sent to some other bank?
The ship I was on, it was a Marine Corps-owned ship. They only had 2 of them, and they're very small, and they have limited capabilities. We didn't have any internet, no telephones, nothing. So I had no way to tell the bank to either stop the power of attorney.
All you have to do is write them a letter.
At the time, I didn't know. I mean, I was just off. I had to deal with other things as far as the deployment, being away from family, being away from friends, and I didn't think to write a letter. I mean, in the first place, I didn't think someone would go and spend that much money.
Okay, well, they
Especially when
did.
the
So that
agreement
we were up to May 2003. So what happened next?
So I stopped in Guam. I found out I had $1,800 in my account. I called her, very angry, asked her what she spent the money on. She couldn't tell me what she spent the money on. She doesn't know what she did. She told me she went to Vegas. She told me she bought shoes and purses, and she couldn't remember what else she spent the money on.
So what did you say to her?
I broke up with her.
Fine, that was in May.
Yes, ma'am.
And?
And then I went and pulled the money out that I had left.
How did you do that, Private
Through an
Rivera?
ATM.
Where, in Guam?
Yes, ma'am. I have it's all written down. It's all down here in withdrawal transactions.
No, I believe you. You went and pulled out the money.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody had to get you a road map on how to do that.
No, ma'am.
Right, Officer Rivera?
No, they did not.
Right. So you pulled the money out. And?
And then got on the ship and went back home.
So what are you doing here a year later?
Well, I owe my father $6,000. total for lending me money to buy a car. And he's been bugging me, asking me when I'm going to take her to court to get the money for him, when am I going to pay him his money back. And now I figure it's about time I get the money back.
Okay. Now I'll hear you.
Before Michael went off to go overseas, he told me to spend the money on my car payments because at the time I was working as a hostess. I wasn't making that much money. He even told my mother, you know, my mom asked him, why are you doing this? And he said, because I want Lacey to have money while I'm gone. Those are her exact words. And I never went to Vegas, ever.
So what'd you spend the money on?
I sent him care packages overseas.
One care package.
Shh,
Four.
Don't interrupt her.
My car payment, my insurance payment, just bills. He told me to spend it on me.
I didn't say that, Your Honor. I never once said spend it on you. I said if there's an emergency.
If he needed to pay his dad back, why didn't he give his dad power of attorney?
Because he trusted you.
Your Honor, I never told her to spend the money freely on herself. Never once did I say that. I said in case of an emergency, if something comes up to where you don't have enough money, you can use the money, but I want $6,000 at least when I get back. And
Just a minute. I don't believe you said that, Private Rivera. I don't believe you said you want $6,000 when you came back, but I do not believe that you deposited your money into the bank and anticipating that she was going to spend all of it. I don't believe that's true at all, that you were working over there for her. I don't believe that, Ms. Spears. I believe that you abused the privilege a little bit. Now, is there any reason why you abused the privilege a little bit?
that's not true either. She told me when I came back.
I'm not speaking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any reason why you abused the privilege?
No, ma'am.
Were you angry at him for something?
No. I wasn't angry at him at all. And he never broke up with me while he was overseas. We were still together until he got back. And then, you know, and even after we got back, he bought me a CD player for my car. I mean, if he was so worried about this money, why was he still buying me things, trying to be with me?
That's a good question, Private Rivera. Why is that?
Your Honor, I loved her. I did love her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She cheated on me, I cheated on her. She told me that I gave her chlamydia, and she would call me up, where are you? How come you're not coming over to see me? And I would hang up. I didn't want to talk to her anymore.
And later today.
Where's the computer now?
I threw it out.
What are you, crazy? What are you, nuts? No. Oh, yeah, you are.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. U.S. Marine Michael Rivera says ex-girlfriend Lacey Spears stole money from his bank account while he was deployed in Iraq.
When you came home, you continued to see Miss Spears.
Yes, ma'am.
And you bought her gifts?
Yes, ma'am, I bought her.
Even after you took your money out of the ATM and found out that all this money was gone?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I still think that you abused the privilege, but I don't think that there was an agreement that that money would be used for any particular thing. What I want to know is, under what circumstances did the two of you end your relationship?
It ended very bad, Your Honor. And I mean, I was...
Want to tell me how that happened?
At the time, I mean, when I left, we weren't in very good standing terms. She cheated on me, I cheated on her, so on and so forth. She told me that I gave her chlamydia and all this
Would you do me a favor and tell me, please, what happened to terminate the relationship when you came back to the States?
I was seeing her for a while, and then I stopped seeing her. I went and started partying with other friends, and she would call me up, where are you? How come you're not coming over to see me? And I would hang up. I didn't want to talk to her anymore. I was the one to see another girl.
Just a second. So that's how you broke up?
Yes, ma'am.
You got bored with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, just because you got bored with her, Private Rivera, doesn't mean that she owes you any money.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Good. I'm glad you understand that, because your case is dismissed. That's all.
Party's unexcused. You may step out.
Obviously, he's in some kind of money trouble, and he needs help, and he's trying desperately to get any way he can.
She's taking out money that I'm working hard for, you know, overseas, fighting for our country.
I was in the room when he told her, pay your car payment, pay your bills, and use the rest for what you need. And I told him he was out of his mind for doing it.
I was obviously in love, and what a mistake it was.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Haney versus Darling, step forward, please.
24-year-old Penelope Haney and her brother Ronald are suing their former friend, 22-year-old student Jennifer Dorling, for the value of a computer. The siblings claim Jennifer borrowed the computer and for some reason threw it away.
Miss Haney, the defendant is your son's aunt.
Yes.
Who is this?
My brother.
Ronald. According to your complaint, the defendant borrowed your brother's computer.
Yes.
And either won't return it or she says she threw it out because she stored it for you long enough. And she also has a desk that I assume went with the computer. And she says it's an old piece of junk that you can have back, but she no longer has the computer.
Right.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding her getting the computer.
In February of 2004, she started asking me to ask my brother if she could use it because my brother had lent it to me.
Weren't you using it?
No, I didn't need it. I wasn't in school anymore, and I didn't have a phone, and she wanted to use it for internet purposes, so.
So what kind of a computer is it?
A Dell, a Pentium 4.
When did you ask for it back?
He asked for it back in May, and she said it wasn't a good time to come and get it.
Who did you ask for it back?
I asked her for it, and she told me she has to take a few days to get some stuff off it.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why didn't you get the stuff off it and return it to them?
I did take the stuff off it. I was moving in the beginning of June, and when I had spoke to Ron, I told him to come get it by May 25th because he had said that...
Shh. Don't, listen. Don't speak to her. Where's the computer now?
I threw it out.
Why?
Because I just got tired of storing it.
You weren't storing it, you had borrowed it.
I never borrowed it. I was doing her a favor because she didn't have a phone line.
Just a second. Listen, Miss Dorling, you don't want me to torture you, do you?
No.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. If she didn't have a phone line, that's not a reason for you to take the computer and put stuff on the computer that you had to take off the computer, because clearly, based upon what you said, you had been using it, enjoying it, putting your own information on it, because when he called you in May and said, I want to, I'm speaking. When he called you and said, I want to come and get my computer, you said, it's not a good time, I have to get stuff off it. So you weren't storing it, you were using it.
The both of us, both Penny and I, were both using it.
Fine.
Then what happened?
Shut. Listen to me.
Sorry.
You don't say you're sorry again. If you do it again, you're out of here. You got it? When did you call him and tell him that he should come and pick it up?
He had called my house one day, and I said, well, I'm moving, and I told him, I said, come get it by May 25th, and if you don't, you've lost it because I'm moving and I don't want to move it.
What are you, crazy? What are you, nuts?
No.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Penelope Haney and her brother Ronald claim former friend Jennifer Dorling threw away a computer belonging to Ronald. Jennifer says she was tired of storing it for him.
When did you call them to tell them I've gotten the stuff off the computer, you can have it back now?
He had called me, and I told him...
So the answer is you never called.
I didn't know the phone number. I didn't know
you
where
just
he was
told me, Miss Dorling, that the two of you were using the computer.
Yes.
Well, so then you saw her.
Yes, but I didn't see her in May much.
Then she wasn't using the computer in May. Just you were using it.
It was at my house, yes.
Just you were using it. How much you pay for the computer?
We have the receipt,
Can I see it, please?
$776.
You got a lot of nerve. I don't even know if you threw it out. Why would you throw away a perfectly good computer?
Because in July, Ron and his mother had come to my house, and his mother had physically attacked me in my home in front of my daughter.
Over the computer?
Yes. I told her to get out of my house, and if she got out of my house, I would get it. Ron told her to back off of me, and I got her out of my house, and I locked the doors. I called the police, and then I went into the computer room, or the bedroom.
So what you're telling me is, from May all through the summer, they wanted the computer back.
That was July 2nd.
What? She wanted the computer back.
I hadn't heard from them. Ronnie had called once after I had moved and threatened I'll get the money one way or the other. And
what do you mean you get the money one way or the other? That's not something that somebody does, unless you were stalling giving him the computer. What did she say to you when you called?
I called again. I was like, all right, Jen, I'm coming to get my computer. And she told me now is not a good time. And I was like, well, now is not a good time for you, but it's a good time for me before you sell it.
Look, don't look at her.
Or throw it out.
Look at
or
her.
Get rid of it. And I was upset. And we go over there, and it's not there. And then I hear that it's there, and then I hear it's not there, and then I just hear now that she threw it out.
And what about the desk
The desk I just bought just to go with the computer.
Okay, and that you have?
I have that, yes. It's in
Very
the
good. They're
basement.
going to pick it up in 5 days, and you owe them $766 for the computer. That's all.
Thanks.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was mine. I wanted it. I went to get it. She wouldn't give it back. I called.
Told me they were coming to get it at that time and didn't give me any notice or anything like that.
Now is not a good time. How is it? Well, obviously it's not a good time. She got rid of the dang thing.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Miller versus Collins. Step forward.
Homemaker Jean Miller is suing her daughter, salesperson Deborah Collins, for charging a rental car on her credit card. Deborah says she owes her mother nothing.
Ms. Miller, this is your daughter, and according to your complaint, you had an agreement with her. She was in an automobile accident, and her car was totaled or needed to be repaired. Her insurance, according to you, was supposed to provide her with a rental car, but it wasn't going to kick in for a while, so she asked if she could use your credit card in order to secure the rental. And the agreement was, according to you, that when she got the insurance money for the car rental, she would give you that money.
It would go to the car rental place.
We go to the car rental place.
Right.
And she used your credit card, you were billed, and you want your money.
Right.
When was the accident?
In January of 2004.
And what did she do? She called you?
She said that she needed to get a rental car, and her insurance was going to pay for it, but she had to have a credit card to secure it. And she asked if she could use mine, and I said, just for secured, but not to be used, because it was the card that I used to buy medications. In March, I went to order medication. They told me that I couldn't order it, that my credit card was no good. And I said, well, how can that be? I should have well over $1,000 on it. And I said, well, you have to check with your credit card company. And when I did, they said, oh, no, your card's maxed out. A light bulb went off. I said, is there by any chance a charge from Enterprise Car Rental? They said, yes, there is. That's what put it over the top.
How much was that charge?
$1,331.16.
Okay, Ms. Collins, I'll hear you.
I had a car accident back in January. It was a hit and run. My insurance company told me that I could get a rental car, that I needed a deposit for the rental car, and that they would take care of all charges. Got the car. It was a month before I got my car back. And then I found out from my insurance company that they had the wrong information on the rental agreement. The car was rented out to and had me down as an alternate driver. So they were fighting the claim. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
What does that have to do with your mother? You drove the car.
Yes, I did.
Pay her the money and take it up with the insurance company.
Well, I would have done that, but I did not know about this until March.
So?
And in the meantime, I've had to deal with my youngest granddaughter having major reconstructive surgery. My 15-year-old son has ran away. And I just went through a house fire.
What does that have to do with your mother?
Well,
what does that have to do with your mother? She needs some medication. If you're having a problem because you were fooling around with the rental of this car with Enterprise or because somebody made a mistake, you deal with it. That has nothing to do with your mother.
Well, if she would have read the agreement before she signed it, she would have seen that the wrong name was on there.
Oh, grow up, Miss Collins. How old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
You're 39 years old. You're a mother. You're a grandmother. You're supposed to have responsibility. You're supposed to be.
I do have responsibility.
You don't.
Yes,
you don't.
I do.
Why should she be put in a position of having to worry about her? Put that down. Having to worry about her medication because of your neglect. It's not her problem. She was doing you a favor.
Yes, she was.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,300. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Morning, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Miss Harris, you and Miss Randall were neighbors, and according to your complaint, Miss Randall assaulted you over a parking space. Miss Randall acknowledges that there was some sort of a tiff, but she says that you got into her personal space, whatever that means. Okay. Had you been friendly with the defendant prior to this incident?
Yeah, actually, when she just moved in, I was kind of excited because I'm married with kids, and I'm young, I'm 21, and I saw that they were young, so I said, hey, you know, there's people I could talk to that live right downstairs. So
how many units are in the building?
4. I have pictures.
What I want to know is, this argument happened over a parking space, so why don't you tell me what happened on the 29th?
Okay, on the 29th, Shamikwa, she was parked in my spot,
In your parking space?
In my parking spot.
You have assigned spots?
Yes.
Okay.
I knocked on their door to ask her to move, and nobody answered. This was something that kept on happening. It was a recurring problem. So I called my parents. I said, they're still bothering me about this spot. And my mother said, you know what, Tatiana, you've spoken to them before about parking in your spot.
Spoken to them before?
Yeah, from the first time they moved in.
Both of them?
Yes. I told them that we have reserved parking spots. I introduced myself and everything. I was being really friendly with them. So they noticed, and the first day they moved there, actually, I think one of their friends or somebody was parked in my spot, and that's when I said, yeah, we have reserved spots, so could they move? I asked nicely.
And did they move?
Yeah. They got really mad, though, and then they moved.
What was the problem with parking in her spot?
It wasn't me that was parking in her spot. It was my roommates.
Well, who were your roommates?
Shaniqua. She's my roommate.
Well,
and she's never came to me with the problem about us parking in our spot. Only one time she had asked me to move.
Step up. Why did you park in her spot?
When I parked in her parking space, it was at like 3 o'clock in the morning. When
I don't care whether it was 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. Why did you park in her space?
There were no open spaces. I parked in her parking spot. I figured, okay, she has 2 kids. If she's not home at 3 o'clock in the morning, I figured that she wouldn't be parking there. So I parked in her parking spot.
Sit down. What?
Just shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, so this is the morality monitor. If you're not home, you should be home. If you're not home, then I'm parking in your spot. Right. Okay, so they were parked in your spot again. You called your parents, and you told your parents, and evidently one of your parents called the police, and the car was towed.
No, I actually called the police.
What happened?
The police came over. My dad came over first, and then I said, Dad, can you come there with me? Because I didn't want to start anything. Because I've never been in a fight before. I'm not a fighting person. Okay. So my dad came over. We knocked on their door. That was the second time. They were home, and Shaniqua was in my spot. And we were knocking on the door, but nobody answered the door. The cops came. I have this report also.
Can I see the police report?
The cops came, and they banged on the door for a while. Nobody answered the door. So after everybody left, because they said, okay, obviously they're not answering the door, and you can't legally have the car towed. So they said all we could do is just ask them not to park there again, and then they'll give them a violation or something. So then after they left, about 2 hours later, I said, you know what, let me go back downstairs and I'll see if somebody opens the door. So I knocked on the door, and that's when Shaniqua opened the door, and I said, what's up with you in my spot? I said, you guys keep on parking there, you know, and I've asked you numerous times not to park there. So I was talking to her for a little while, and I said, so can you please move your car? And they say the same thing all the time, I'll move in a little bit, I'll move in a little bit, I'm going to work anyway. And I said, you know, don't park there. There's other parking spots, why park there? Then she said, well, you weren't home anyway, so I saw it was free. I said, no, listen, it's my parking spot, it's reserved, so it's never free for you. So then she said, well, I'm leaving, I'm going to work in a little bit anyway.
Who said that to you? Which one?
Shaniqua.
Yeah. That one.
So I said, well, listen, I said, you're in your nightgown. I said, I'll give you 10 minutes to get dressed, but after that, I'm going to call the tow company to come tow your car if you don't move. So, and I was just saying that so she could move her car and see I was serious.
Perfectly reasonable. Will you get to the assault, please?
Sorry, she slammed the door on my face. I went back upstairs. So a couple hours passed, and then I heard bang, 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 bang on my door. And I was like, what's going on? So I grabbed the phone because I don't have any friends, so nobody should be coming over my house. So I grabbed the phone, I walked downstairs, I said, I wonder who's knocking on my door. So I opened the door, and she was standing right there screaming at me, Tamika.
What was she screaming?
She was screaming at me saying that I disrespected her by saying that I'd have her car towed if she parked in my spot, and that she'll park there anytime she wants to, and if I do anything about it, she'll kick my butt up and down the street. She was making fun of me, yelling out profanities and everything. And she was saying, what's really good? What's really good? Come on, what's really good? That's what she was saying, trying to make me fight her, and I wasn't about to fight her. And the whole time that she was screaming at me, I was dialing the police. That's the first people I called, because I knew that if I called them, they'd come.
At what point did she touch you?
Oh, okay. So now I'm dialing a whole lot of people. I'm sorry. Okay, and then she said, yeah, I'll beat you up. So she's going on and on how she's going to fight me. And just then she punched me in my mouth and then pushed me into my neighbor's door. And that's when the whole fight started.
Tatiana Harris says former neighbor Tamika Randall punched her in the face over a parking spot. Tamika says Tatiana asked for it.
Now, why did you go to her house?
Okay, I received a phone call from Shaniqua saying that Tatiana called the police. However, I was not home when the police came to my house. I was away in Pennsylvania for the weekend. Okay. So when I came home, I got the phone call from Shaniqua saying, oh, Tatiana called the police. They came to the house, and they said that we just wasn't answering the door. So I'm like, what do you mean she called the police? Well, she said because I parked in her spot, meaning Shaniqua.
Just slow down, please.
Oh, I apologize. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to her about it, you know. So I knocked on the door. I was not yelling or anything. I asked her, you know, what was going on. She got very nasty, and it was uncalled for because before that we were friends, you know. She went drinking.
So she got nasty. Go
yeah,
ahead.
She got nasty. So at that point, I got nasty back, you know. We started yelling at each other. At that point, I turned around and actually went back into the house, closed my door. She stood outside, continuing to yell and everything else. So I came back outside. Like she said, the doors are very close. So I can stand on the edge of my, you know, by my door and still see her by her apartment and still actually be kind of close to her. She was standing, like in the hall.
Try looking in my eyes. Don't look at your shoes.
I was not looking at my shoes. I can't see my shoes.
Over here.
However, she was
you're looking
standing on
over
the
there.
cement.
I'm telling you, look over here.
However, she was standing at the cement, on the cement, and I'm in my
Not
apartment.
over there, over here.
I'm
Look
in
at
my
me.
apartment, and she's still yelling at me, all in my face. You know, I thought she was gonna hit me, so I hit her.
Good.
That's when the fight started.
Good. You can't hit her. I don't care what you think.
Whatever.
I don't care. Whatever. What? Shh. I don't think that they get it. I don't want to hear you. Do you understand that? That come from that back there?
Mm-hmm.
Get him out of. You, out. I'm going to say 3. 1. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. You want to participate in the decision-making process, go on Jerry Springer. Not here. This is a court. Maybe a television court, but it's a court. So behave yourselves. Do I make myself clear? Perfect. You have no right to touch her. Clear? Not whatever. Clear, Miss Attitude?
Whatever.
What an idiot. Let me ask you this question, my dear.
Sure.
How old are you?
21.
What do you do for a living?
I take care of disabled adults.
In a home for disabled adults?
A group home.
Tell me what kind of training you had to do that.
You have to take recertifications. Like,
what do you mean? First, you have to get certified. Before you take a recertification,
yes,
you have to get certified.
Pardon me.
What kind of certification do you need to take care of disabled adults?
You have to learn how to give meds and all like little classes to teach them how to assist with daily living and things like that.
And what kind of temperament do you have to work with disabled adults?
You have to be patient.
Patient. What else?
Kind.
What else?
And you have to be able to teach them. And I am all of those things.
Patient and kind?
Yes, I am. Regardless of what you say or think.
Okay, so you're punched in the mouth. Did you go to the doctor?
Yes.
Can I see the report, please? Thank you.
And from that day, the 29th, that night, I went to stay with my parents. So I went with my kids and everything to my parents' house, and we stayed there until I moved into my
How many
other
children do you have?
apartment. 2.
How old are they?
2 and 1.
Where's their father?
He's watching them. We're married.
Okay, so you went with your husband to your parents' house?
Yes.
And your 2 children?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Her husband was not around or even in the picture.
And that's exactly why they felt that they could harass me, because he wasn't there.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Why did your roommate and or you disrespect her private space by parking in her parking space?
However, it wasn't me that disrespected her. The only time I might have parked in her spot is when we first moved in or had trucks and stuff moving my stuff out. I mean, at that time, my car was never parked in her spot. I had no problem parking down the way to walk to my apartment. It was never an issue for me. Now, Shaniqua, on the other hand, I have nothing to do with that. My problem was that I felt she should have came to me. I mean, my mother co-signed for this apartment.
Just a second. So you felt that she should have come to you. You weren't there.
No, exactly. So why not wait for me to come home? Neither was Shaniqua. That didn't stop her from calling the cops.
Oh, she was there.
She was home after the fact.
She was there. She was there.
After the
She was
fact.
there. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,500. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. They step out.
It's ludicrous, but you know what? I don't mind her getting the money. She obviously needs it.
Obviously, they weren't doing the right thing because you could just tell by how they speak. They can't even talk correctly.
Whatever. It's over and done with. It's not a big deal.
She's really, really extremely hyper.
You have nothing better to do with yourself than to call the police over a parking spot.
She got in my face and punched me and hit me, and then we got into a fight over stupidness.
Park in your own spot, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't fight. There's no reason.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wilkins versus Wilkins, step forward.
17-year-old student Miranda Wilkins and her mother Gail are suing Miranda's father, business owner Scott Wilkins, for the cost to fix her 2002 Chevy Cavalier. Miranda says her dad accidentally backed the car into his own vehicle.
What's your first name?
Miranda.
How old are you, Miranda?
17.
And this is your mother?
Yes.
And this gentleman is your dad?
Yes.
Your dad was doing some work on your car and had an accident with it and put a little dent in the car. So you're suing him to fix the car. Father says he was more than willing to take care of it, to take it over to a body shop and have it fixed. You wanted to take it to the dealership where you bought the car so that it could be fixed by the same dealership that makes the car. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So I have a few questions for you, Miranda.
17-year-old Miranda Wilkins says her father, Scott Wilkins, backed her car into his own vehicle.
How long are your parents divorced?
A year.
Was it difficult for you?
No.
You live with your mother?
Yes.
What kind of a car do you have?
A 2002 Cavalier.
Who paid for the car?
They got it out of closing money of the house.
Who paid for the car?
Mom and Dad.
It's very nice of them.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Wilkins, you were doing some work on your daughter's car. What kind of work were you doing on your daughter's car?
I was changing her oil and rotating her tires, and I was putting brakes on.
Had she asked you to do that for her?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So your father's working on your car. What happened, Mr. Wilkins?
I just kind of got in a hurry, and I had a head cold, and I'd forgotten.
Listen to me. Got to talk slowly so I can understand you, sir.
I'm sorry. I got done with changing her brakes, and then I was going to test them out, and I'd forgotten that I had pulled my truck down behind it. When I backed up, I backed into my front of my truck is what happened.
And how much damage was done to the car?
It put a dent in the back right quarter pounder, about the size of your fist.
Can I see it? You have the picture?
Yes.
It's
kind of hard to see. It's a black car.
Well, I'll take a look at it. I want to see the kind of damage that would bring a daughter to a position where she is bringing her father to court to pay for a dent
There was
in a car. Shh.
Sorry.
So far, you're not losing, right?
That's
right.
Right.
In a car that he bought for her.
Yes.
Okay, well, certainly is drivable. I'm not exactly sure where this dent is. Where is it? Back here, someplace?
It's in front of the tire, and then there's this scrape that's where you first pointed.
In front of the tire, and then there's a scrape. Okay. Now, did you tell your daughter you would fix the car?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you tell her?
I told her about a body shop that I knew of. I go by pretty regular, and I seen her work, but I told her I'd fix it, and we'd go by there and get an estimate.
What happened?
Well, first couple times I tried to get her to go over and do it. She had something to do, but then she went over by herself. I was going to meet her over there, and she just didn't like the place for some reason, just wouldn't have anything to do with it.
What happened, Miranda?
I just didn't like it because there's some people that's my age working on it, and I didn't want them to work on my car.
You're not marrying them, my darling. Somebody's going to pull a dent out of your car with a thing that, the plunger that they put on the car.
She actually went twice, and the first time the guy told her to come back, and the second time she went, they were really rude to her.
Well, she's not going to bring the car there. Her father's going to bring the car there. What does she have to go over there for? Why did you go over there instead of letting your father go over there?
So they could get an estimate on the car.
Why didn't you let your father take it over?
Because Mom told me not to let him drive my car.
Why?
Because the insurance, I paid for it, it's in my name and Miranda's name.
So?
And he had already backed into his truck, and no offense, I know his driving record. I was married to him for 18 years. And Miranda could have just met him over there, and she tried to get him to meet him over there, and when she would call,
So why
they
can't you
weren't
take
available.
the car and have it fixed?
Just whenever available.
Well, let's make a date. Not you and me. Miranda, my dear, listen to me very carefully. Your parents don't get along anymore. They're divorced. Be a smart girl. Don't take sides. Nothing is as black and white as it appears. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Your father may not love your mother anymore, but that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. And it's the wrong thing to do to sue him. It's the wrong thing to do to take him to court. It's the wrong thing to do to listen to your mother when she says, don't let your father drive the car. That's malicious. And you shouldn't be involved in that, and you shouldn't put your daughter in that position. Ever. Put a period, move on with your life, and don't visit hostility that you may have through her to him. That's not fair. That's not fair to do to your children. Your father's going to take the car and he's going to have it fixed where he wants to take it, because he's your parent. Do you understand, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I'm going to do this for you, sir. I'm going to give you 2 weeks from today to fix the car.
That's plenty of time, I would think.
2 weeks from today to fix the car. Is that reasonable? Reasonable? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen your father since this whole brouhaha? Okay. Just remember, he still loves you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And in 2 weeks, he's going to get your car back good as new, and maybe he'll even detail it for you. Give him a hug. Give him a hug. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.
Yeah, this is case number 543 on the calendar in the matter of Riley versus Mark. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Riley, I assume this is your daughter and this is your daughter. Is that right?
Correct.
Neither one of you were there on the fateful evening when your daughter got Mrs. Riley's car.
Yes.
And drove it and crashed it.
Yes.
Causing damage. And Mrs. Riley wants you to pay for the damage your daughter caused.
Correct.
And your daughter, whose name is?
Stephanie.
Stephanie says that Kayla gave her the keys to the car, so she's responsible. That's your position.
That's what I've been told.
So now that I know what your positions are, and you look like two lovely ladies, you can sit down, and I'm going to have the girls right up there. All right, Kayla. Where were you, and what were you doing when you gave Stephanie the keys to your mother's car?
I was at a friend's house.
Name of the friend?
Aaron.
How old is Aaron?
I think he's 18.
And how many people were at Aaron's house?
I would say about 10 people.
How old were they?
All around the ages between like 15 and 18.
How many of them were drinking?
I would say almost everyone.
Did you see anyone that said, no, I don't drink?
One of my friends, the friend who said that they were driving, did tell me that they didn't drink.
And who was that?
My friend Felipe.
Who invited you to Aaron's house?
Another one of my friends.
Where were Aaron's parents?
They weren't there. I think that he owns the apartment himself.
So Aaron lives there by himself?
Yes, ma'am. I think so.
What does he do for a living, Aaron?
He goes to school, and I'm not sure what his job is.
He goes to college?
He goes to high school. He's a senior in high school.
What kind of alcohol were they serving?
Beer.
And what time did you get there?
I got there approximately 10:30.
What time did you get there, Stephanie?
Probably like 9:45.
Who did you come with?
My friend Mike.
Your friend Mike?
Yes.
How old is Mike?
Like 18.
And he picked you up from your house?
My friend Danielle's.
Had you been drinking at Danielle's?
No.
You didn't start drinking until you got to Aaron's?
No. I didn't drink there.
You didn't drink anything?
No.
Had nothing to drink? No alcohol?
I had no alcohol.
And Mike, did he have alcohol?
No. He left before, like right when he got there. He only stayed for like 15 minutes, then he left.
Well, and when he was there, he didn't drink?
I wasn't with him at the time.
So, you know you didn't drink. As far as you know, Mike didn't drink. Did you drink?
Yes, ma'am, I had a beer.
Who else didn't drink?
My friend Christina.
She didn't drink?
No.
Now, tell me, Stephanie, how it came about that you got the keys to Kaylee's car.
Kayla got there a little while after me, and when we were standing there,
standing where?
In the middle, like the kitchen and the living room. And when we were standing there, there's only three people there who had cars. Michael had left, and Aaron, but he wasn't going to leave, and Kayla had a car. And there's a kid, Josh, there, and he needed a ride home. And Kayla said, well, I have a car. And she goes, well, I'm too cocked to drive. So we were standing there, and I offered. I was like, well, I'll drive. And she's like, will you really? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay. So
why would you offer to drive? You don't have a driver's license.
No, I don't.
You certainly, according to you, weren't drunk.
No, I was not.
So there's no excuse for you saying that I'll get behind the wheel of a car when that's against the law.
Well, I didn't want Kayla to drive because I didn't know if she was going to drive, so
Let Josh walk. That's what he has legs for.
Yes, I know.
Like Abraham Lincoln. I mean, I would like to hear all the rest of the excuses, Miss Stephanie.
So we were standing there, and then Kayla showed me her keys, and me, her, and another friend walked outside to the car, and there's a couple of our friends standing outside, and they were smoking cigarettes. I got into the car, and I didn't want to go by myself, so I invited Christina and Felipe to go. So we got into the car, I started the car, and Kayla came out and talked to me, and she said, "Are you going to be okay to have your seatbelt on?" And I said, "Yes." So she shut the door, and she goes, "Make sure you're back in 20 minutes." And I was like, "Okay." And I went to bring him home.
So what you're telling me is Kaylee couldn't drive because she was too drunk?
Yes.
And you weren't because you didn't have any alcohol?
No, I wasn't there for long.
Okay. Miss Mark, you can stand up now. Now you can tell me why you think your daughter is not responsible.
I don't think she's responsible because she doesn't have a valid license, and Kayla knew this.
Okay. Now, when you get someone's permission to do something, and they are incapable of giving you permission, that's like having no permission.
Okay.
You can be incapable of giving permission because you're in a coma, you're mentally challenged, you are high on drugs, you're loaded on alcohol. But if you are in any way incapacitated, you can't give a valid permission. Let me give you an example. If you're out with a young man and he knows that you're drunk and he wants to have sex, and he does, and he knows you're drunk, and you say, "I didn't give permission. He knew I was drunk. He knew I couldn't consent. He did this against my will." And you'd be right. Now, your daughter just told me that she didn't have anything to drink. Now, I don't believe her necessarily, but that's what she told me, because that's what the good story would be, that she didn't have anything to drink. That, by the way, Miss Mark, is a lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your daughter has no reason to be in a situation where she can be high, drunk with a beer, and have keys to your car.
And later today,
I don't like it when somebody plays cute with me. It suggests that you think that you are smarter than I am. And he knows that that's a very dangerous thing to do.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kayla Riley says her former friend, 15-year-old Stephanie Sherman, wrecked her Mazda MX-3. Stephanie says Kayla gave her permission to drive it.
She didn't have anything to drink. So she knew she was 15. She knew she had no permission getting behind the wheel of a car. She knew she couldn't get anybody else's permission to drive a car. Can't drive yours, can she? No. No. And according to her, she knew or believed that the reason she couldn't drive to give Josh a ride home was because she was drunk. Because that's what she just told me. Kaylee said to her, I can't drive. I'm too, what, clocked, cocked, whatever it is. I'm too drunk. That's what the connotation was. So she was incapable of giving her permission, according to your daughter, who's lying, by the way. But I'll take it. Now, your daughter has no reason at 17 to be in a situation where she can be high, drunk with a beer, and have keys to your car.
I understand that.
So what do you think, Miss Riley, is reasonable with regard to the damage to your car?
The deductible and the difference I paid for the car.
What was the damage to your car?
They totaled it.
And so what is your out-of-pocket expense? How much did you pay for the car, and how much did you get from insurance?
Okay, I paid for the car $24.75 in May. What I received from the insurance company was $1741.75.
That leaves a difference of $734. Now, did you buy this car for your daughter, or was it your car?
No, I bought it for her.
You bought it for her?
Yes.
Does she now have another car?
No.
That's good. She doesn't need one. 734 divided by 2. 50% for you, 50% for you. Equals $367. You think you're 50% responsible, or your daughter is, for the damage to the car?
We both are. Yes.
Good. judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $367. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The kid that I was bringing home just went to go grab the steering wheel, and I got nervous, so I turned and I hit the curb. I just should never let anybody else drive my car.
I believe she knows better than to get behind the wheel of a car when she's drinking.
I got burns on my face and down my neck, and I got a black eye, like big fat lips.
She could have been killed and everybody else in that car.
There was no responsibility. There was no adults.
It was a mistake, and I paid for it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Clark versus Oaks, step forward, please.
Truck driver Michael Clark is suing his former friend, interior designer Deborah Oaks, for the value of a '92 Acura. Deborah is countersuing, claiming Michael breached their contract when he repoed the vehicle.
Mr. Clark, you and Miss Oaks had been friends, according to what I read in your complaint, and you laid out money for her for a car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you claimed that she did not pay pursuant to your agreement, which was she was supposed to pay every month. You repossessed the car. She refuses to sign the title over to you, which means that the car is virtually worthless to you. And you want her to either sign the car over to you or you want the value of the car.
In addition to some rental for the time that she had it, she was renting a car.
Just a sec. I didn't ask you for the whole story.
Sorry.
That's about what your case is.
Yes.
Ms. Oaks says that she was not in default of her payment, that you repossessed the car prematurely, and that she is counterclaiming for $5,000 for a whole bunch of nonsense, because she says that by the time you repossessed the car, then she didn't have a car and she couldn't get to work. She lost her job. She lost her life. She had to rent a car, which she wouldn't have had to rent if you didn't repossess the car. That's your counterclaim.
Right.
How long had you been friends?
A few months.
Where did you meet her?
Through a mutual friend.
Did you have a dating relationship?
No, we just hit it off. I felt that we were going to be very good friends. I was interested in dating her if it came down to that. If it didn't, that was fine. But shortly after we met, her car took a dive, and she needed a vehicle. She rented one, and over the course of about a month, she claimed she paid about $3,000 for a rental. I thought that's ridiculous. You know, I've got this money sitting in the bank. Why don't I loan you the money for a car, but get your car. If you can pay that rental, you can pay me back. And so we went out shopping for a car. We found one we really liked, and she was supposed to have half to a third of the money within a week from her father, who was going to help her with it. That never materialized.
When was the car purchased?
The car was purchased on December the 4th. On December 5th...
Listen to me, Mr. Clark. I work much better when I ask the questions.
Okay.
Purchased the car on December the 4th. Now, Ms. Oaks, it was your agreement that payments were going to be made directly to Mr. Clark.
Yes, it was.
In what increments?
A minimum of $200 per month by the 15th of each month, beginning in January.
And you made a written agreement with regard to that?
Yes.
I'd like to see the written agreement.
Well, this is the original.
All I want to see is the original agreement that you signed with him.
Your Honor? Sorry.
You know, Miss Oaks, I don't like it when somebody plays cute with me, because it suggests that you think that you are smarter than I am. And he knows that that's a very dangerous thing to do, because it is highly unlikely that that's true. You have a typed agreement, and your typed agreement says that the money is to be paid on the 15th of each month. Yours has, in your handwriting, starting in January.
Because we had a verbal...
I'm speaking. His copy doesn't have that. Mr. Clark says that you didn't make the payment in December. He waited until the first week in
January.
And he took the car back because you had breached the agreement. Your defense is that according to your agreement, it wasn't supposed to start until January 15th. So therefore, you were not late in your payment. But you wrote that in. And it's not in his contract.
That was to our verbal agreement. Those were my personal
You don't
notes.
have a verbal agreement other than that which is contained within the four corners of this contract. Who's got the title?
I do, Your Honor.
Can I see it, please? When did you first ask her for the money, sir?
I'd been hitting her up ever since we got the car, because the money from her father was supposed to come in, and She did tell me that her uncle had died.
That's not true.
Her parents were coming into town, and when I asked her for money, she said, well, they spent all the money on airfare. I don't know how much is going to be there, da-da-da-da-da. Well, the uncle wasn't part of our agreement.
Before we go any further, I want each of them to sign the title to the car so that when I make a decision, it's all signed off on. He under his, she under hers, and then give it back to me. And then I'll take it back, Bert. After she signs it, I'll take it back. On what date, Mr. Clark, did you take possession of the car?
It was on the 10th of January, and I was assaulted in doing so.
How were you assaulted, sir?
She came out, I put a club on it because she was blocked in, so I couldn't get the car out. She came out, when she saw the club, she became irate, saw me in the parking lot next to me and started yelling at me. And I walked over, tell her she's late, she's default on the loan. And that's when she turned around and cold cocked me. Her ring caught my cheek, drew blood. At that point, I figured...
Did you file a police report?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I was at the desk to do it, and the police called on my cell phone. I answered it. They asked me to come back to the scene. I went back there. I asked to have her arrested. They wouldn't arrest her. They told me they were going to arrest me. And I explained to them it was my vehicle. We spoke to the watch commander. Watch commander told them that they can't arrest me.
Now, would you give this, please, to Mr. Clark? Now, Ms. Oakes, I'm going to hear your counterclaim.
In rebuttal to what he has said here, first of all, I offered that day when he came to my office.
You mean on the 10th of January?
Exactly. Caused a total scene. My boss was the one who called the police.
Okay.
Because of his reaction. Now, I offered him that day to pay him $500. He would not accept my money.
Ms. Oakes, he had contacted you prior to that to make a payment in December. And if you had the money, why didn't you make the payment in December?
Because he did not ask me for the money at that time. And as far as I was concerned...
What did he ask you for? Shh. What did he ask you for when he contacted you in December?
Do you want to go to lunch?
Is that true?
That's an absolute lie.
Okay, let's hear the rest of your counterclaim.
As a result of him taking the car, I've had to incur rental fees for the car.
Well, you had rental fees before that.
Yes, I had.
So that even prior to this, you were renting a car. It's not as if you sold a car because he gave you the money for this car. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes. At the time that he came to me with this offer of buying the car, I had another option. I chose not to go with that option, which was...
which was what?
To get a car with somebody else.
What do you mean get a car? Why don't you get a car by yourself?
A family member was going to loan me their car.
Ms. Oakes, grow up. You have a car now?
No, I don't.
Well, get one.
Yeah, I'd like to if I had the money.
Get one.
But I've lost my job.
What do you want from him?
Because of him, I lost my job. Because I don't have a car to go to and from work and to do the responsibilities I have throughout the day at my business.
Why don't you rent
Because he gave me no notice whatsoever and took my car out of the parking lot.
You just to say, listen to me.
Because I lost my job. I do not have salary for it.
Don't speak over me. How much did the rental car cost you for the month prior, from November 5th to December 5th? How much did it cost you?
A couple $1,000s total.
Well, he just saved you a couple of $1,000s by not having to rent a car for that entire month.
The reason he chose to bring this up to me and offer me this deal was because I had turned in the rental car that I had previous to this because I could no longer afford it. That was what happened.
How old are you? How old are you, my dear?
32.
32. Take care of yourself.
I'm
Mr.
trying.
Clark, you now have the title. You can now go and sell the car. Do you understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Probably have to sell it at a little bit of a loss. It'll teach you, you got to think with your brain, this part of your body,
I realize
not any
that.
other part of your body. Do you understand? You think with this part of your body. Miss Oakes, you're 32 years old. Take care of yourself. Counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Seated, ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Dubiyai, you and the defendant were in a relationship and you lived together until sometime in May of last year.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, you believe that Ms. Gagliano is responsible for several things. First, for an assault that you allege she perpetrated on you on that day. Second, you claim that she filed a false application for a restraining order against you, which caused you to incur some fees. You want her to be responsible, in addition, for a hotel that you had to pay for when she filed these false charges and you were forced to leave the home.
Yes.
The defendant says that you actually did, in fact, assault her. She says that in addition, she had to, since she was arrested, she had to stay in an apartment for a couple of weeks while you were living in her home. And in addition, when she finally was allowed back into the home, she found that the place was a mess and that you allegedly took some property that didn't belong to you. When did this incident occur?
May 24th, 2000.
And how long have the two of you been living together at
Just
that
over
time?
2 years.
So why don't you start by telling me what happened on the 24th of May?
Well, on May 24th, I had picked her up from the airport because she had been at her family's because her father had passed away. And, you know, we came into the apartment and I went into the bedroom when I got on the computer because I was looking for a rental car. And she right away started getting irate with me and yelling at me.
Why was she yelling at you?
We had conversations to the fact that we weren't getting along, that there was some issues.
Before she went away or when she was...
While she was away, I had brought it to her attention that I felt like I was just a roommate. You know, I'm paying bills and I'm living there, but there's nothing else. So we discussed that when she got back, we would talk. As soon as she got back, she didn't say nothing on the car ride back from the airport. She got into the apartment and she flipped out.
Well, tell me how she flipped out, sir. What
She started throwing stuff, my golf clubs across the room. She wiped off everything off the desk and the dresser.
Well, what was it that precipitated that? Something usually happens before.
Nothing. She was just, I couldn't understand. This is a shock to me because she was never like this. So she continued to get irate and she's like, I want you out of here.
Were you not sympathetic to her?
I was.
Okay.
And I said, you want me out of here? Call the cops. She refused to call the cops. So she got in my face, clenched her fists, and turned red, and she was gritting her teeth, and she's like, pushing towards me like she wanted me to hit her. And I just backed away. I says, you need to get out of here. You need to go sit down and go do something because I don't need to deal with this. She's like, I want you out. I said, here, call 911. I typed 911 in my cell phone, and I went to hand it to her. She wouldn't take it. She finally walked out of the room. I sat down at the desk. I was on the computer chair. And a couple minutes later, she came back in and she lunged at me on the chair and started digging into my face. So I had 911 programmed in the phone, so all I did was hit send. And I got the dispatcher. And I told him, she's attacking me. You need to send somebody here now. And she got up and she was hysterical and she went out in the other room. The dispatcher told me, lock the door, stay away from her, and stay on the phone with him, which I did. Police officers arrived and that's when they started investigating.
Do you have the police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
There's also pictures on there, too.
All right. Why don't you tell me your version of the events, please?
My version is that I was with my mom because my dad had passed away, and I was there for a month from April 9th to May 24th. During this time, I received a phone bill, and I noticed he was calling making outgoing and receiving ingoing calls from this same number. And I questioned him about it, and he says he had fallen in love with this other person, and I didn't want him to be with me if he was in love with someone else or having relations with other people.
When did he tell you that?
I don't know the exact date.
Well, is it when you were away? Or
it was when I was at my mom's house.
Okay.
It was at my mom's house, and we had conversations for him to leave because we were both unhappy in the relationship. Because it was pretty much...
So far, does that ring a bell?
I never said that I was in love with this, but that is true that there were some calls, but it was never discussed like that.
Well, how was it discussed?
Like I had told you previously, I was unhappy and I felt like we were roommates, and she agreed that it was like we're roommates.
Oh, so you became involved with somebody else?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
Well,
it was a friend of
telephone.
mine that she accused me of cheating on her with.
You know, there's all kinds of cheating,
Right.
sir. There's emotional cheating, there's physical cheating. You were having conversations with another woman, correct?
Yes, a friend.
Okay, go ahead. So you got back from...
I got back from Myrtle Beach, and I was unpacking my suitcase, and I had asked him to leave the apartment twice because I was really upset, and he was cursing at me, calling me bad things. And
no, that didn't start. That doesn't make sense. He picked you up from the airport.
We were talking. He said we didn't talk on the way home. We were talking on the way home.
He picked you up from the airport. He didn't say take a cab home, take a car service home. He picked you up from the airport.
With my car.
I don't care whether he picked you up with your car or not. He picked you up at the airport, correct?
Right.
And there was no scene at the airport.
In the car there was.
I said there was no scene in the airport. And when you got home, he just started to curse you? Is that what you're telling me? That doesn't make sense. Makes sense that you were angry with him because of what you saw on the phone bill, but it doesn't make sense that he would start cursing at you.
Well, because I told him I didn't love him. We had discussed that we wanted to separate, and I had asked him to leave, and he said no, and he became very violent.
Well, tell me what he did.
I went over to the desk to get...
Make sure it's consistent with this police report.
I went over to the desk because I saw my car keys on there, and I didn't want him leaving with my car. I should have just let him leave with my car and reported the car.
Don't tell me what you should have done. Just tell me what you did.
So I went over to the desk to just grab my car keys, and he grabbed me by the neck and was holding me by the neck. And then once he had me by the neck, I tried to get him to release me, so I scratched him on the face.
Police officers said, I observed Michelle's neck and did not see any marks or any form of injury. At the headquarters, Michelle stated that Joseph slammed the door in her face and injured her back when he jumped on her. Michelle made no claim of these actions when Sergeant and I were at her residence, and there were no injuries or marks consistent with her statement. He advised that while she was in the holding cell, Michelle did not confide any information that she was in fear of Joseph. Michelle was charged with simple.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joseph Dubiyai says his ex-girlfriend Michelle Gagliano owes for an assault, hotel fees, and for filing false charges. Michelle is countersuing for an assault, hotel fees, and damaged property.
Okay. You filed for a protective order on that date.
I was advised by
and granted a protective order. Okay. Then you went back to the apartment.
Yes.
How long did you stay in the apartment?
It was 3 days.
When did you find out that the lease was in her name?
When I was removed from the apartment, and I went to the office to ask them for a copy of the lease. Because all along, I was under the assumption, because we filled out papers together when we got the apartment, I was supposed to be on the lease.
Did you ever sign a lease?
I signed a document stating that I was going to be a registered occupant.
Were you a registered occupant on the lease?
As far as I was concerned, yes.
Can I see the lease, please?
He wasn't, and the reason for that was because of his criminal background. And that's why I had to move from my original apartment where I lived, because they wouldn't let him live there because of his criminal background for fraud and embezzlement or whatever.
That's your choice. If it's true, and I don't know if it's true or not, that was your choice, right?
To live with him?
Yeah.
I know, but
that was your choice.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you didn't find out anything new about his criminal background after you moved from one apartment to another. You chose to live with him, right?
Yeah.
So you were there 3 days. And then what happened, sir?
I got a knock on the door, 2 police officers telling me I had to leave. They came in and they said, if you don't leave, we're going to arrest you. And this was at 5 o'clock. So I was like, this is wrong. I'm supposed to be here. You know, the court said I should be here. Well, you have to deal with them. It's after hours. You have to leave. So I left. I had a friend of mine pick me up and take me to a hotel. So I had contacted the courts and also the district attorney. And he stated to me, why are you out of the apartment? You have every right to be there.
Don't tell me what he stated to you, sir. That's hearsay.
To go back. So I went back after 4 days.
Okay, and?
And then our court proceedings continued. It was a 2-week adjournment. And after that, I decided to get my stuff.
And leave.
And leave. And just bring the keys to court.
Well, that's a very good idea.
I didn't want no trouble.
That's a very good idea. I believe his version of the events, and I do not believe yours.
Sorry?
I believe that you assaulted him, that there was a terrible altercation, and that you filed a restraining order subsequently. Unless you have medical records. You have medical records?
I went to the emergency room.
Just a second. I want to see the medical records. I want to see what the physical manifestation was of this alleged assault.
And there's pictures, too?
I'm not looking at any pictures. The police officer memorialized exactly what they saw when they came to the premises. So you went to the emergency room the next day?
Yes.
Not that day. You went the next day. And then you went 3 days later.
Because I tried to...
Don't tell me what they said. I'm just asking you for objective data. You went the next day to the emergency room. And then you went 3 days after that. I'm just reading the records.
It was a holiday weekend.
Don't tell me what it was.
And I tried to do it that day, but they told me I couldn't.
Don't tell me what they told you, madam. That's hearsay. You can always go to the emergency room.
I mean, for me to... I tried to file a...
You can always go to the emergency room.
No, I know that. I'm not...
I just made a simple statement. The simple statement was you went to the emergency room the next day.
Yes.
Who took the photographs that you want to show me?
I did. I took them in the hotel room because I had to stay at a hotel for 11 days, and I took them before I went to the emergency room.
On what date?
On the 25th of May.
I want to look at them. It's nonsense. Okay. You were asked to leave because of what?
That she filed a complaint against me.
When did you file a complaint against him?
It was when the courts reopened on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I'd like to see the complaint. You give so many different versions of this event to the police, to the doctors in the hospital, in your application for a protective order, and to me. In one narrative of the event, you say he slammed a door in your face and pushed you down. You told me he grabbed you by the throat, and that's what caused you to scratch him. Here you say that you went to grab a set of keys off the desk, he grabbed you by the neck and threw you down and was holding you down by the neck.
He was.
Well, that's not what you told the doctors in the hospital.
I told them the same thing.
Do you want me to read what you told them?
I read it, and she wrote it.
She wrote it down differently.
She did.
Yeah. I believe that you filed this in retaliation, so you're filing the protective order. What expenses did you have with regard to defending the protective order?
I had $300 in a hotel for 4 days.
Let me see the bill.
This is my bank statement. There's 2 days on there, and 2 days I pay cash. I understand.
How much were the 2 days that are down there?
$74 a day.
I'm dismissing the part of your claim that seeks compensation for an assault. I do not believe you were assaulted. I believe he was. I believe you lost your temper, and that's what happened. I believe that you filed a restraining order against him in retaliation for his filing one so that you could get back into your apartment. That's what you did, and it didn't work. So I'm not awarding you anything on your counterclaim for the 2 weeks that you had to stay in a hotel room. You had to stay in a hotel room because you assaulted him, and he had a protective order. Now we're going to talk about your property. What do you claim that he took that belonged to you when he left?
He took a $200 blender. He took a digital photo frame. He took a business card case that I had. It all added up to...
Don't tell me what it added up to. I want to hear what he took.
He took
Keep going.
a wheeled laptop bag, a big Yankee clock that was on the wall, and that's it.
Did you take any of those items that belonged to him?
No, Your Honor. I took what was mine, just my clothes.
Did you ever file a police report with regard to items that he took?
No.
Why not?
Because when we went to court, he told my lawyer to tell me
No, don't tell me what he told your lawyer. After you got home, you're not a stranger now to the system. So now you can go back and file a police report that he stole items that belonged to you.
Okay.
Did you ever do that?
No, I didn't think I had to
Good.
do that.
Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Okay.
I'm awarding you, sir, $648, which is $148 for your hotel room and $500 for your scratches. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He gets away with lies.
I didn't realize she was full of lies. I just knew that we didn't have a relationship.
He's just a shady person.
It was just getting worse, and I just wasn't happy.
He's just shady, manipulative, and he lies.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Flint versus White. Step forward.
26-year-old Melissa Flint is suing her ex-boyfriend, 26-year-old Brian White, for the unpaid balance on a furniture set and a television.
Miss Flint, you and Mr. White had a brief relationship, and according to your complaint, he owes you money for furniture and a television set that you put on your credit card.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. White says he doesn't owe you anything, although he is sitting on the furniture and watching the television.
Yes, ma'am.
How long did the two of you date?
We dated approximately 2 months.
From when to when?
We started dating the middle of December to about the middle of February.
And when did he move into this apartment that needed furniture?
He was moving the weekend of the 19th of January of 2008.
So far correct, Mr. White?
I thought we dated a lot longer than that.
It just seemed longer, Mr. White.
Possibly, but no. I do recall at least being with her through March and maybe some of April.
Fine. Where were you living, Miss Flint?
I was living in an apartment of my own in Kansas City.
How long had you been living there?
I moved in July of 2007.
And Mr. White, where had you been living previous to this apartment?
I lived with my father.
What kind of work were you doing?
I was a sales rep for a company called Service Manager.
Miss Flint had her own apartment, and you had your apartment. Why would she buy you furniture?
It's a good question.
No. I always ask good questions, Mr. White.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why I'm here. I
That's right.
expect from you a truthful answer.
I will give you a truthful answer.
Then get to it.
Okay. She was with me at the time that I was moving out of my father's house. My roommate and I didn't have a bedroom or a TV, a nice
So
TV
you're moving
for
in with a
downstairs.
roommate?
I moved in with a roommate, yes. I did.
Go ahead.
Anyways, as we got down to it, we were beginning to move in. I still did not have a TV or a bedroom set. She was willing to.
No, not she was willing to. I want you to tell me how it came about.
Well, I asked her if
What did
she
you
would-
ask her?
If she would help me purchase a bedroom and a TV.
And what did she say?
She said yes.
And what did you say?
I said I would help make payments.
Then why are we here?
Because at the time we were together.
No, don't look down. Then why are we here?
Because at the time when we were together, She said she would help make payments with me. At the time that we broke up, I found out that she was with her ex-boyfriend.
Who cares?
I stopped making payments.
On what theory?
I looked at it as a gift.
He has really no defense to this. The fact that he didn't like the reason for your breakup is not a reason
ma'am.
not to pay the bill.
We were together when she helped me purchase these. We went into it together.
No, you didn't go into it together, sir.
Yes,
If
we
you
did.
lived together in an apartment with her, I would hear you. She
ma'am.
had her own apartment. You moved
We
in
had
with a
our own
roommate.
place.
Listen to me. You moved in with a roommate. According to your testimony, not more than 3 minutes ago, you said you had an understanding. She said, can you help me buy the furniture? She said, yes. And what was your understanding? She bought the furniture and I would make the payments. That's what you just said.
I said I would help with the payments, ma'am.
When was the last time you helped with the payments?
The last time I helped is after we broke up. The month that we broke up, I made
Listen,
my
you
last
look
payment.
foolish enough. Don't say anything else. All right? You look like enough of a fool. Say nothing else. You don't want your father to see this. $2,158. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She got back with the next boyfriend.
We weren't even dating. We didn't talk for...
Yeah, it's case number 17 on the calendar in the matter of Fitzgerald versus Kolonowski.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Are you Derek?
Yep.
Yes is the answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sit up and look as if you're paying attention. Up. Sit up straight. Look like you're paying attention to me. You look very bored.
Straight.
All right.
That is.
Would you believe that these two women are actually fighting over this? Ladies, get it. Why in the world would you, for any reason, go after each other over a guy?
She went after me.
No.
She went after me. She went after me. I don't get it. And now that I see it, I for sure don't get it.
You'll get it once I
Now,
explain it.
listen to me. You made a baby with him?
Yes.
And you were living with him?
Yes.
Are you still living with him? No. Are you living with him?
No.
You see what happens? The only thing you got is a baby.
And damaged property.
No, no, no. The only thing you got is a baby.
She's
Damaged
almost
property
9.
goes away.
Yeah, I have a daughter that he doesn't care about.
That's right.
No.
That's just a second. I mean, it's a good lesson. Would you ever let your daughter hook up with somebody who wasn't ready to commit to you?
No.
No, of course not. How old are you?
I'm going to be 30 this year.
Is this your only child?
Yep.
Okay. Your lawsuit says that at some point you got into an altercation with the defendant. She got into an altercation with you and she damaged your car. She says that you started it, you damaged her car, she's got a counterclaim. That's what the case is about.
Right.
And my boots.
So, I deal with it. It's all totally irrelevant compared to the much larger picture of ruined lives and disappointments and children without fathers. The damage to your car is this big.
Mm-hmm.
The two of you used to be friends, right? All right.
Long time.
So, when did this incident occur with the car?
March 3rd, 2009.
Put your hand down.
I'm sorry.
Go.
On March 3rd, 2009, Derek Zazeta, my daughter's father, was working on my car in his neighbor's driveway across the
Just
street.
a second. He's working on your car, so you had a reasonable relationship with him.
Yes.
And you called him to come to fix your car?
My whole exhaust system fell.
I'm just
yes.
that requires a yes or no, not an
Yes.
exhaust. You called him to come and fix your car.
Yes.
When did you call him?
The night before.
And when did he show up?
The next day.
In the morning?
Yep. Yes.
Yes is the
Yes,
answer.
I know.
What time in the morning?
It was before noon.
And where was he living at the time?
I was at my friend Lori's house, and he lives kitty corner across the street from her.
Now, what were you doing at your friend's house?
I went over there because I couldn't go to his house because Christy was there.
Why didn't he come to your house?
Because all his tools are in his friend's garage across the street.
So that's
Okay. He said, bring the car over and I'll take a look at it.
Yes.
Where do you live in relation to
I was
this?
living with Derek in November of 2008.
Listen to me.
I'm
I
living
didn't
in
ask you.
Centerline.
Listen to me.
Sorry.
I have questions. You answer the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't go beyond the scope of my question. If I want you to go further, I'll tell you. Otherwise, just answer the questions. On March 3rd, 2009, where were you living?
I was living on Centerline in my apartment.
Where is that in relation to where Derek was living and where her friend was living?
I was staying with him off and on.
Were
Just
you
staying the
staying?
night.
Shh. Were you staying with him on the night of March the 2nd?
Yes.
Okay, so you were at his house?
Yes.
Were you at his house the night before when he got a call from Miss Fitzgerald to fix her car?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I assume that when you were at his house and he got the call, you were annoyed.
No. I do not have any problem with him fixing her car because they have an understanding with
the daughter thing.
So just a second. Put your hand down. So you had no problem. So you slept together that night, and the next day he left to go over to fix the car.
Yes.
Did you have any words in the morning with him?
Yes.
What did you have words about in the morning?
He was going across the street to fix Katie's car, and I went back to sleep.
When I meant words, I meant unpleasant words.
No, there was no unpleasant words.
Nothing.
Nope.
Okay. So now he went across the street to fix her car.
Correct.
Go.
She's lying.
Nope. I don't want to hear she's lying. I wanted you to tell me the story.
Okay.
Now he comes over at noon to fix your car.
Okay, he came over to weld up my exhaust system, and when he came in to tell me it was done, she was in my friend's driveway, and as I got in my car...
She was in your friend's driveway?
Yes, Derek,
in her car?
Derek, my friend Angela, and myself got in my car to pick up my daughter from school, and she got mad.
Don't tell me what she got mad. Don't tell me
well,
mad.
she blocked the driveway, wouldn't let me out, so I had to go over the curb to get out of the driveway, and on the diagram over here it shows what happened after that.
Just a second.
It's news to me.
What time was this? He came over a little before noon.
This was about 1 or 2.
It was 3:30.
It was not 3:30.
It
I had a
was.
ticket.
I have the ticket from 5:11.
Don't.
It's not 5:11.
If it's not 1, 2, 3,
3:11.
I'm going to throw you out.
Says.
You're going to get thrown out. And you right after her.
Sorry. I have the ticket.
I don't care what you have unless I'm asking you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How old is your daughter?
She's 8.5.
And what kind of school does she go to that gets out at 1? I'm speaking. You let me finish. What kind of school does she go to that lets out at 1:30?
We were actually going back to my house first, then we were going to pick her up from school.
What were you going back to your house for?
Just to get away from Christy. So Derek and I could spend time.
So it was a lie that you were going to pick up your daughter?
No, we weren't.
No, it was a lie that you were going to pick up your daughter. You weren't going to pick up your daughter. You were going back to your house so you could spend time with Derek. That's what you started to tell me.
I wasn't spending time with Derek.
Who
he
was?
wanted to spend time with his girlfriend that he was trying to get back together with, Angela.
Fine. So what you were doing, hey, I'm speaking.
Okay.
So you were facilitating him spending time with his girlfriend?
Yes.
X.
Great. You all deserve each other.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Katie Fitzgerald claims former friend Christy Kolanowski purposely rammed her vehicle during an argument over a man.
Now, she's blocked your car because she's been with him the night before. Excuse me, I have to put my glasses on and take a better look at this.
He's not worth it, believe me.
You're telling me?
He's not.
So what's happening, Ms. Fitzgerald, is you know that the defendant was at his house the night before. You know that they slept in the same bed probably the night before. And he used to be your boyfriend, father of your child. Let me just understand this. So you called him to come and fix your exhaust system, and you were facilitating. You know what that means? You were making it easy for him, used to be your boyfriend, currently her boyfriend, to get back together with this person by going back to your house to spend time with her out of the eye shot and earshot of this defendant.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's going on. And it is your claim that she got angry and she blocked the driveway. And then what happened?
Are you asking me?
I am asking
then
you.
I backed out of the driveway over the curb, and in the diagram, if you would like me to explain the diagram, I would. But
I don't need you to. Just
Okay.
tell me.
I backed out of the driveway. There's skid marks. I have pictures of skid marks on the
Just
street.
tell me, you backed out of your driveway, but you couldn't get over your driveway, so you
So
took
I went over the
I'm
curb.
speaking. So you took the car that he just fixed and you went over the curb with it
Had no
to
choice.
get away so that he could have some private time with her.
And then
I'm getting this right?
Yes.
You're taking your car. What do you do for a living?
I don't work.
You have to work.
I'm
If you-
disabled.
You're not too disabled to get behind the wheel of a car.
No. but
Drive
I
over a curb.
I didn't want to hit her car. I had to leave, though, because she was going crazy.
You didn't have to leave. She's going crazy. You go in your house. You call 911. You say someone is blocking my driveway. Hey, I'm not talking to you.
I know. I'm so sorry. Because it's just.
You call
a
the
lie.
police.
We did
Your
call the police.
counterclaims dismissed.
I'm sorry.
Counterclaims dismissed. Now we're going to continue. Now you got it? Good. That's what a normal person does. Now, do you have a psychiatric disability?
No.
Well, if you don't have a psychiatric disability, And I'm not going to
Right.
ask you what the nature of your disability is that prevents you from working.
It's post-traumatic stress.
That would be a psychiatric
Oh,
disability.
okay. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Well, you should know. If the reason that the government is taking care of you is because you have post-traumatic stress from something.
It was from a head injury.
From
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
You should get a job. It would keep you out of
I
trouble.
do want to get a job.
You should get a job, any kind of a job.
I do.
It would keep you out of trouble.
I want to work in the casino.
It would keep you out of trouble. It would keep you from machinating and ruminating about stupid things. All right, so now you're going over a curb when you and, what's your name?
Angela,
And how old are you, Angela?
32.
32. What do you do for a living?
I'm a painter,
House painter or a
Yes.
portrait painter?
house painter.
But you weren't working, I assume, on this day.
I was not.
Go ahead. So you backed over the curb. Go.
And I was going down the street, and she sped off behind me. I have skid marks.
Sped off behind you
and tried to hit me the whole way down the street. And then she
And?
was swerving around me, and she swerved to go around me and rammed right into the passenger rear of my car. And I have a picture of my bumper. I have an estimate for the frame that she bent on my car. And I got a careless driving ticket because we were both going we were screaming at each other. She jumped out and kicked my car.
Just a second. So you were both screaming at each other, and you were both driving your car recklessly in order to get, because you both got citations.
Well, they
Correct?
just didn't want to deal with it.
Did you both get citations?
Yes, we did.
Well, I have a violation of driving on a restricted license because I was trying to leave the scene just to avoid conflict, and it was a cat and mouse down the street.
I gather
She
that
was
that's exactly
speeding
what it
up.
was. I gather that's exactly what it was.
And when I went to go turn down Elsa, which it's not on the diagram, she cut me off, so that's how I got my front end clipped. And my witness right here, he's seen it all.
I want to
there.
explain something to you. The person that I want to least hear from in this world today is him.
Yeah, I know, Your Honor. I'm so sorry.
You understand?
I understand that.
Now, I don't think that either one of you, based upon what you just told me, acted appropriately that day.
I was just trying to get out of there.
I packed.
You didn't have to get out.
She was waiting.
You didn't have to get out.
You cut
All you
me
had,
off.
hey, based upon what
How
you
do
told
cut somebody off on a side
When I'm
street?
trying to turn
your
down a
claim
side
is
street,
I'm
you
sorry,
cut
I'm
me
sorry.
off.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
She
She said,
keeps-
how many times
I'm
did you say
sorry.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm not
I
gonna
dismissed her
talk
claim.
unless you talk.
I dismissed her claim.
I'm sorry.
Your claim's dismissed. Dismissed. I would have dismissed it anyway. You don't hear. You have to be more involved with your life and less involved with the lives of other people. Do you get it?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what kind of stupidity you were involved with that day, because I'm not hearing this counterclaim of yours that she hit your car and that she's responsible for the accident. You both behaved badly.
I should have called the cops in the first place.
That's right. Or gone into the house and not arranged for this assignation between Prince Charming over here and your unemployed painter friend. Do you get it?
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
Goodbye.
What about my
You may
boots?
step out.
Thank you.
She turned my daughter's father against his own daughter.
I already know how my kid's ma is.
I'm going after him for child support, so the loser better get a job.
I'll pay child support, and she can go pay a real mechanic, a real collision shop, real prices, and see how far that goes.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bourgeois versus Lesserson. Step forward, please.
Carol Bourgeois is suing her former employee, Sarah Lesserson, for damage to her home, a broken cell phone, the cost to change her locks, and lost wages.
Ms. Bourgeois, you hired the defendant as a personal assistant. Things didn't work out. The relationship of employer-employee ended badly. According to what I read in your complaint and your answer, there came a time when Miss Lesserson, terminating herself from your employ, asked for her final paycheck, something that you did not give her immediately. Subsequently, she sued you in small claims court for her paycheck. So far, correct?
Yes.
And you lost, and you were directed by the judge to return her paycheck. You appealed that decision, and within the last several months, your appeal was rejected. So far, is that correct?
Correct. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you get your paycheck?
I did, Your Honor.
And I also read between the lines here, and at that time you also raised before the judge in that small claims hearing the fact that you wanted a business cell phone back. Correct?
Correct. Amongst other things, yes.
Talking about the cell phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the judge directed that the cell phone be returned. When did you return the cell phone?
I returned it in August when we were in court. I had brought that along with other
August of 2008. And 8. Because you say that she damaged the cell phone. That I'm not entertaining. That was already taken care of by another judge. And between August of 2008 and May of 2009, if you had a complaint about the cell phone, you should have filed it, not waited until after your appeal was denied. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Good. In addition, you are suing her because you say when she came to your office to collect her paycheck, she assaulted you.
Correct.
Something I assume you raised at some point. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you raise this assault?
I believe it was mentioned during the paycheck, but the judge wasn't concerned with that and didn't address that because that was not the issue.
He could have. Because the same way that you're suing her now for the assault, you could have counterclaimed when she sued you for the paycheck for the assault. And it was raised before the judge,
right, but
correct?
out of ignorance, I thought that it would balance out. I didn't understand.
I'm dismissing the assault. You get one shot of the apple. You can't come and fetch and annoy courts because you lose an appeal. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Unless you have a police report that suggests that you had visible injuries. Do you have a police report that indicates you had visible injuries?
I have photos, too.
I'm not interested in your photos. I'm interested in the police report.
Your Honor,
Don't speak. So far, you're not losing. So far, I got what this case is. It's a lot of nonsense. Somebody who's vindictive because they lost a case. I can see no signs of injury on Bourgeois' right arm or right cheek where she said she was slapped. Bourgeois could not tell me with what hand Lesserson slapped or grabbed her. Okay, that's what I thought. Because even if I believe that she slapped you, which I don't, there is no way that you lost any wages due to an assault. And changed lock fees. You want to give me 30 seconds on changed lock fees? 30 seconds.
She cut my keys. She signed a receipt stating that she would return my house key. She said she was holding it hostage, and because she assaulted me, broke my gate, I had to call the police. She was screaming at me. I was afraid, so I had to call a locksmith to change my locks.
Madam, you lost the case. You've already had 2 bites of the apple. You had a trial. I'm speaking. You had a trial, and you had an appeal. Every issue that you raised before me, you could have raised, did raise, in some instances before another judge. You don't get to waste court's time 3 times. Do you understand?
Yes, but I did
That's
raise
all.
those.
Case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused in the matter of Bishop versus Schultz. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Bishop, you and your family were renters in a 4-unit complex, according to what I read in your complaint. The other 3 apartments or condos were occupied by owners.
Right.
And it is your claim that the defendants did several things. First, they told untruths to the cooperative association and therefore your landlord.
Yes.
Causing you to be evicted.
Yes.
And next, you allege that the defendants, one or both of them, put needles in your laundry which got into your baby's pajamas, which caused injury to the baby.
But
shh. And you want to be compensated.
Yes, ma'am.
I assume that they did not put any needles in your laundry on purpose. If needles got into the laundry because Mrs. Schultz is a diabetic,
yes,
does use needles.
No.
Doesn't use needles.
No.
Okay, interesting. And in addition, that whatever statements they made to the landlord, your landlord, were true, and if you were evicted, it was because of your own conduct. That's their defense. I just want to check something. Well, I'm reading your answer, Mr. Schultz, and your answer says, my wife is diabetic, and when the plaintiff's husband brought the lancets to me...
There's a difference between lancets and needles.
Oh, okay, lancets.
Okay, yes.
So I used the wrong word.
Used
Lancets.
Lancets.
When plaintiff's husband brought lancets to me, he said he found them in the washer. My wife is diabetic, but they did not look like the lancets my wife used. So we're using a different term.
Right,
Needles,
right. Well, there is
lancets.
a difference between lancets and needles.
Okay. When did you move in, Mrs. Bishop, with your family?
August of '03.
And how many members were there in your family?
3, myself, my husband, and my baby.
How old is your baby?
1 year and 4 months.
Did you have trouble with Mr. and Mrs. Schultz or any of the other neighbors when you moved in?
Just the Schultz. No, the other neighbors were very kind and friendly, normal neighbors.
What happened with Mr. and Mrs. Schultz?
I think the first month or two was fine. We were friends.
Well, actually, it was...
I didn't ask you anything yet.
Mr. Schultz was very kind and helpful, showing us where the things were, telling us how things ran around there, like he was the
That was the
landlord.
first month or two?
First month or two. I understood from the neighbor in number 2, Tammy.
Don't tell me anything that a neighbor told you.
Okay, I understood she needed a kidney. So I went up and offered her a kidney and asked her what blood type she was. She said she was blood type AB. And we talked about it.
So, it's good.
To my best recollection. Anyways.
Go ahead.
So, just things started happening where the laundry park problems. They parked in a, his truck is very big, it's a Bronco, and it's blocked our space. When we moved in, we asked him several times to please move it. We can't get our car in the garage. Here's a violation that was written on my car because his car was parked in my space, so I had to scoot my car over the line. So I was ticketed because they called on me after we asked them to move the car and complained to the landlord.
Mr. Schultz, did you and the plaintiff and or her husband ever have a conversation with... Could you stand up and take your hand off your hip?
I'm sorry?
Did you and the plaintiff or her husband ever have a conversation with regard to your truck encroaching on their parking space?
No, not...
Never?
No.
Never?
No.
Your Honor?
No.
And actually...
However, excuse me, Your Honor, however, though, I did quite a few times ask them if they could move their car over because I couldn't get into my car, and she is...
Now, just 1 second.
Okay.
So there was a problem.
There was a problem.
Now, when there was a problem, it was because their car was parked too close to the line, yet their car was parked within their lines. But you have a very large car, and in order for you to get in and out of your spot, you wanted them to move their car further over.
To the other line.
I understand. Your wife is answering the question, sir. I mean, you know, I understand. She understands what I'm saying. You may want to give me a lot of baloney, but I'm not going to tolerate it. You asked them to move their car to the other side because you have a very large car and it was difficult for you to get in and out of your car. Is that a fair statement?
That would be a fair statement.
That's a fair statement. Okay. And what I assume happened is you parked it as close to the line as you possibly could. Is that what you're telling me?
Not necessarily, but
Not necessarily. Let me see the pictures. I'm 10 steps ahead of you, sir.
There's a picture
I'm
of his
10 steps
Bronco,
ahead of you.
And here's the rules and regulations.
You know, fortunately, we all come to our jobs, Mr. Schultz, with a life's experience.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, well, in this case, you may not be. Let's get to the rest of the complaints that were made, because that's what you're alleging. Let's get there, and let's get there fast.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the Lancets.
Okay.
Your Honor?
What?
May I ask my witness to come up and explain?
Absolutely. Who are you?
I'm her husband, Brett Bishop.
Okay. Do you have the complaints?
No, we do not have the complaints.
Well, then how am I supposed to adjudicate that part of your claim?
We were not able to get them from our landlord in time.
Well, then, yeah, I have to strike that part of your claim.
Okay, then I have nothing in that regard.
Good. Fine. And let's get to the needles incident.
I went out to get the baby's laundry out of the dryer. And
When was this?
January 29th. And found needles in the dryer, and I came back in the house and called my husband, and he told me that they might be hers because she's diabetic.
Okay. Do you have any of them with you?
Yes.
And this was before you put any clothes on the baby?
No.
What do you mean no?
Similar of what the needles look like.
You see, what you state in your complaint is that your baby was uncomfortable, and the next morning you found needles in her pajamas. Then you went down to the laundry and you found needles. Now you tell me that on the 29th of January, you went down to the dryer and found needles in the dryer.
I got the needles out of the dryer, and I came back into the house and called the police.
Yes.
My husband came home at the same time.
Yes.
And he can pick it up from there.
The police officer went and spoke with Mrs. Schultz.
Listen to me. Were you there when the police officer spoke to Mrs. Schultz?
I was not in his presence. He spoke to her on her balcony. We waited in the house. He came down and told us what she said.
That's hearsay. I'll look at a police report if you have it.
Yeah, we have a police report.
They said they didn't have anything.
In that police report, she admits that the needles were hers. Shh. Sorry.
Now, according to the police report, I'm just telling you what the police report says.
Okay.
It says that you advised the police that the needles were left in your clothing by accident. I got it. What's next?
We have photographs of the needle, and we did not know that where the needle came from, where the scratches came from originally.
I don't know what scratches you're talking about, Matt. I have no clue as to what scratches you're talking about.
We found a needle later in my baby's diaper. After we phoned the police, we discovered that the scratches that were on her that were not on their way.
I have no idea what you're talking about, madam. I asked you, tell me about the incident involving the needles.
Okay.
And you told me on the 29th of January you found needles in the laundry. And now you're talking to me about scratches, and I have no clue as to what you're talking about.
On the 28th night, I put my baby to bed. In the morning when she woke up, my husband...
It was on the 9th.
What are you telling me?
On the 9th, we put our baby to bed. I usually put the baby to bed, and she had no scratches to her labia area. She was very fussy that night. We thought she was teething. The next morning when I got up to take her to the nanny, I noticed when I was changing her, she had a dirty diaper, so I wiped her up and I noticed that there were scratches to her vagina area. We have pictures.
What kind of diapers do you use?
Pampers.
Well, how could she have scratches to her vaginal area?
That's where we're getting at, is the whole reason why we're here is the needles that this lady put in our laundry somehow got into our baby's diaper, scratched up her labia. We have pictures to document that. We have pictures of the needles and the emergency room doctor.
We dug through the diaper pail.
Saw those.
We have a diaper pail we keep the diapers in, and after discussing with the officer and finding out the needles 2 weeks later that she had got scratched from, we assumed we better look through the old diapers that we keep in the pail, which we have pictures of the diaper pail and the needle in the dirty diaper. So that's how we didn't know where the scratches came from.
But you don't put diapers in the wash.
Shh. Push it.
So we put 2 and 2 together and took her to the emergency room, and they wrote the report that needles stick to the labia. And they did the HIV test on her, hepatitis testing. And
so what you're telling me is, I mean, I don't know what these pictures show, madam. You're showing me a picture of a dirty diaper with a blue needle in it. Is that what you're showing me you found?
Yes.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that 2 weeks later you kept dirty diapers in a pail.
The baby goes to the nanny Monday through Friday.
Let me explain something to you, madam. I do not believe that you kept dirty diapers in a pail from January 9th to January 30th. I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it ain't true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
I assume that you have a busy life. I want to know why you're suing him over swimsuit and shoes. I'm just curious that you took time out to file a lawsuit about your swimsuit and shoes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Bishop says her former condo neighbors, Michelle and Perry Schultz, put needles into a laundry dryer, causing injury to her baby. Renee also claims the Schultzes lied to the landlord and got her evicted.
I believe that you probably found a couple of her needles in the dryer. That's a possibility. And maybe you figured you could parlay that into something else, but I do not believe, and I'm not crazy about their attitude, especially his. I'm not sure about hers yet, but especially his. But if you think you're going to parlay that into a monetary award, you are wrong, because I do not believe this evidence, which is a 2-week-old diaper that you kept in a pail in her room and happened to open it up and found within the diaper that your husband said he changed on the 9th of January, a blue needle that he overlooked. I don't buy it.
It was
My problem is that 3 weeks later, or 2.5 weeks later, when you found this, you took your child to the emergency room?
Mm-hmm.
What date did you take the child to the emergency room?
The 29th.
The 29th. So what you're telling me is you didn't see the problem on the 9th.
Yes, we did.
Well, show me what you did.
We took her to my doctor for shots. 2 days later, she had a date for shots. There's red marks on the buttocks.
Let me see. 2 days later, let me see what the report says. Well, infant.
Red marks on
Red
buttock.
mark on buttock. That's not what your husband just told me. Your husband told me that she had needle punctures on her labia. Listen, What do you think? I was born yesterday. Your case is dismissed. They may have not been good neighbors, and they may have done a lot of things that were nasty to you, but you're not going to parlay that. My only problem is you did take the child 2.5 weeks later to an emergency room where somebody found a needle prick on the child. My question is, how did it get there 2.5 weeks later when it wasn't on the doctor's report 2 days after what you allege is the incident?
Because
that causes me a great deal of concern. Not from them, but from you. Your case is dismissed.
Your Honor,
Step out.
thank you, Your Honor.
Out. Thank you.
I didn't put the lancets in the washer or the dryer.
They just started turning psycho and messing with our cars, cutting our vehicles up. All kinds of stuff.
We've lived there 8 years, never had a problem with anybody until they moved in.
I think because they're just really jealous. Their kid's autistic, unfortunately.
So does that mean I'm jealous of every normal child in this world? I don't think so.
He used to tell us all the time, oh, you're so lucky to have a healthy baby. She's so beautiful. She's so this, she's so that. And I think there was a fine line between jealousy and hatred.
That's just a farce. I mean, they're just reaching, you know. Desperate people will do desperate things, you know, and they're desperate.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCullough versus Nelson's Nautilus. Step forward, please.
Student Renee McCullough is suing the owners of her gym, Preston Nelson and John Ashey, for breaking into her locker and selling her belongings. The men say Renee's locker dues were 6 months delinquent.
Ms. McCullough, you belonged to the defendant's gym, according to your complaint, for about 9 years.
That's correct.
And then there came a time recently that you stopped going, about a year ago. And it is your claim that they clipped the lock off your locker after several months and got rid of your stuff. You want them to pay you $600 for what you claim was in the locker. When did you first rent your locker?
The first time I rented it was for a year. It was in November of 2001.
And how much was the rental on the locker for that year?
I paid $100. He gave me a break. I paid a year in advance.
Is that right?
That sounds correct.
Okay, $100 for the year. That was in 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay in 2002? Is not an answer.
No.
Why not?
Because it was my understanding when I paid for my year in advance that it would be included in my automatic payment out of my bank, and in the event that it wasn't, that Preston would let me know.
Did you have that conversation with her?
I couldn't. I would say yes, I did. We could not find any paperwork to show that, and so I don't know where it all fell short, but I have no paperwork that would show that. Typically, it was a prepaid year only.
Okay. When did you stop going to the gym at all?
At approximately middle of 2002.
And when did you go back?
The end of July of 2003.
And when you went back in July of 2003, you found your locker opened?
Exactly.
Okay, well, you know, that's well over a year ago. What have you done in the last year?
After I found out my lock had been cut off, I spoke to Mr. Ashby, and he said he had to speak to his wife to find out where my belongings were. He thought that they still had them on the premises. At that time, I found out that no, they were no longer there. I left a note with Mr. Ashby concerning, you know, I had quite a bit of belongings in that locker, and that if they would pay me for my swimsuit and my shoes, I would go away.
Do you work? I assume you do.
I did previous to this, yes.
What are you doing now?
I'm going back to school.
How do you support yourself?
Through my husband.
Oh, okay. So your family supports itself?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going back to school. What I want to know is, I assume that you have a busy life. I want to know why you're suing him over swimsuit and shoes. I'm just curious. Yet you took time out to file a lawsuit about your swimsuit and shoes.
It's the principle of the thing. I expect that if they run a business, that they need to comply with the laws that regulate the renting of areas.
Well, but the truth of the matter is, Ms. McCullough, from what you tell me, you didn't go back to the gym for almost a year. And during that period of time, the locker was really not paid for. You assumed that it was going to be paid for. You assumed that they would notify you in the event that it wasn't paid for. Have you lived in the same place
yes.
all the time? Well, what I don't understand, Mr. Nelson, quite frankly, is why couldn't you just send her a note? Drop her a note and say, listen, we're going to empty out your locker because it hasn't been paid for, and it has to be paid for. You know, you better come and get it within the next 2 weeks.
Right. That really, a lot of the specifics, when Johnny came on board, the records were not well kept. We didn't have an automatic payment system in place for lockers. That was something that was discussed, but primarily it's a membership, tanning, health club.
Okay. So what Ms. McCullough was asking for initially was $160. Is that right?
That's what I have, yes.
Right. That's what she said here. Originally, I told him, you've just paid me $160 for my swimsuit and sneakers. That would be fine. And she's here just for the principle of it, right?
Correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $160. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. 76 on the calendar in the matter of Lewis versus Christensen. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Lewis, who is this young lady?
This is my fiance.
And Ms. Christensen, who is this gentleman?
This is my husband, Jamie.
Are these people here for moral support? Is that what this is all about?
Character.
Character. I acknowledge the fact that the two of you have a character. You also have a child together.
Yes.
You have any other children?
No, I don't.
You have any other
I
children?
have 2 other children.
How old are they?
A 4-year-old and a 16-month-old.
And how old is the child that you share?
She's 7.
Did you live together before she was born?
Yes.
For how long?
Before she's born, year and a half.
Did you live together after she was born?
Yes.
For how long?
Almost 2 years.
Any reason why you never married?
Just didn't work out.
Different goals in life.
Different goals. But the one goal that you had in common was having a child together. Perfect. This is what the case is about. After you separated, ultimately, the courts got involved and set up a child support order as well as an order that directed that each of you would change claiming the child as a deduction on your income tax returns. This past year was your year, Mr. Lewis, to claim the child as a deduction. The caveat was that you had to be current with your child support. When you went to claim the child on your tax returns, you were advised by, I assume, your tax preparer that Mrs. Christensen had already claimed her as a deduction, despite the fact that the court order allowed you to do it. So you want what would have been your refund for the child.
That's right.
Ms. Christensen says that you were not current in your child support payments, and therefore it didn't trigger your claiming the child as a deduction. She is counterclaiming for some nonsense, which says that because your check is garnished for your child support, a certain amount is deducted for administrative costs for the deduction of your child support, and she thinks that you should pay her that amount. That's what your counterclaim is. It's really nonsense. That's something that the state imposes, not the plaintiff. Okay? Let me see the last order of support and the first order of support.
That's the only order that was made.
Yeah.
One order.
One. Mm-hmm.
You petitioned the court, is that right, sir?
Yes, I did.
For an order of paternity, custody, and or visitation. Was that because you were having problems with visitation?
Yeah, she told me I had no rights to my daughter. And to take
How
her to
long have you
court.
been married, Miss Christensen?
5 years.
How often were you seeing your daughter at the time that Miss Christensen got married?
Every other Sunday. Started out as a weekends and went to Sundays. Her and one of my ex-girlfriends had a fight.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure.
Mr. Lewis has been sporadic with his visitation with his daughter. It is true, me and one of his girlfriends who, at the time, we didn't get along, and we got in an assault fight kind of concept on one of his visitations. So at that time, I asked that he had his visitation with my daughter at his parents' house. And then that way there wouldn't be any problems with anybody's relationships. I didn't want to be in an argument and a fight every time we had to drop or pick up our daughter. I didn't want to go over to his house and be assaulted by his girlfriend.
Well, that's absolutely correct. You shouldn't be in contact with anybody, but that doesn't mean he has to have visitation with his child at his parents' house.
I understand that, Your Honor, but Mr. Lewis has been in and out of jail for drug charges. He's led a very colorful life, and I didn't feel that
Did you
my
know
daughter...
about that when you had a...
I did, and he was going to rehab.
I'm speaking. Did you know about that when you had a child with him?
Correct, and he was going to rehab.
Then you picked him.
Mm-hmm.
He's your child's father.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Can't come as a surprise to you. Okay. It's clear pursuant to this agreement, Ms. Christensen, that Mr. Lewis had the right to claim your daughter on his tax returns for this year. And you did. Why?
Your Honor, he was not current.
Show me.
Okay, I have a paper here from the state.
What is your child support obligation, sir?
$216 a month.
Okay.
He was not current on his child support or his medical obligations.
Just a second. Wait 1 second. I'm looking at January. I want to find January.
I have one starting from January.
Okay. How much is owed? Just take a look at it, and I want you to read out.
$46.14 was owed.
$46?
Correct. On just the child support.
Just a second. That's all I'm interested in. $46.
Correct, Your Honor.
So that's not a reason to claim the child on your tax returns as a dependent. I will tell you that right now. Shh. And aside from the fact that he says he paid it, that $46 from whatever amount that was, but at $216 a month for the past year, if what he is $46 in arrears, I think it's overreaching, Mrs. Christensen, for you to claim that is the reason that you didn't follow the court order. You say it's more than that. So tell me what's more.
I gave him a list of the items that he owed.
I'd like to see it.
And
when did you give him the list?
He knew at the time when.
When did you give him the list?
I gave him a list in
February 10th.
January, and he
just
also.
A second. Wait, whoa. Why did you wait until after the first of the year to give him a list that said that he owed Tanner Clinic $25 copay, Visual $45 copay, and health insurance for 2004 $350 yearly? Why?
Because Mr. Lewis never contacted me to ask me.
I want to tell you something. You're slick. You're slick, but nasty. You're a slick lady, but a nasty lady.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you were being a reasonable person, you would have advised him of that on the 1st of December instead of sucker punching him and waiting until he could no longer comply with his obligation. Put your hand down. Does it sound like you're losing?
And later today.
He filed false charges saying that I was an unfit parent. I can't take care of my children. They came into my house and they found nothing at all to say that I was an unfit parent.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Lewis says ex-girlfriend Nikki Christensen owes for declaring their daughter on her taxes. Nikki claims Eric is neglecting their child.
This was within your control. And if you said to me that in November I sent him a list and I said to him, this is what you owe to keep yourself current with regard to the court order, then I might have sympathy for you. It is disingenuous of you to send him this in January. You got it?
I understand.
Good. Now, how much of a benefit did you obtain by claiming the child this year on your tax returns?
I'm not even sure the full amount, Your Honor.
Do you know?
I know what I lost, not what she would have made.
Well, what did you lose?
$2,900.
Show me.
I have the copy when it was first done, and then when it was done a couple days later after they told me she'd already been claimed.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I didn't feel it was my job to go out and babysit him and tell him, you need to be paying me this. That's why I originally went and got involved with the state, to garnish his wages.
Listen to me, madam. You didn't file the petition. He did. He asked the court to set a support order. He asked the court to set a visitation order. That's the caption of the petition. Put your hand down. It doesn't mean you have to babysit him. It just means that you have to be a reasonable person. And if you had obligations that you felt as if he should have paid in 2004 in order to let him claim the child as a deduction, if you were being a reasonable person, you would have advised him of that on the 1st of December instead of sucker punching him and waiting until January 10th when he could no longer comply with his obligation. Put your hand down. Does it sound like you're losing?
No, ma'am.
You chose him to father a child, and it would probably be a hell of a lot easier for you now that you're married and have 2 other children if he were no longer in your life, if he took a powder someplace and wasn't involved. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. You two are tied to each other. Get used to it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,900. Your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mr. Lewis has been in and out of her life, and until he's been in a serious relationship, didn't choose to really have a very adequate relationship with his daughter.
I had my daughter every other Sunday for 2 years before this.
I hope they build and bond and grow.
Oh, I'll still have her every other weekend.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Blair versus Cheverini. Step forward, please.
21-year-old nurse's assistant Tricia Blair is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old construction worker Joseph Cheverini, for unpaid rent and bills. Joseph says he moved out because he caught Tricia smoking marijuana with their kids.
Miss Blair, you and Mr. Cheverini lived together, you have a child together, and you have a child from a previous relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
You signed a lease for an apartment, and the thrust of your complaint is that Mr. Shiverini moved out of the apartment, leaving you with 5 months' rent to pay on the apartment, and you want him to pay the remainder of the lease, which is 5 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And he says pretty much grow up. You've got a restraining order against him that was bogus. He was forced out of the house, and he has absolutely no intention
Yes, ma'am.
of paying the rent. So I have a couple of questions. When did you sign the lease?
In August of '04.
And how old are your children?
4 years old and 3 months old.
And where is the father of your 4-year-old?
He's in the Marines in North Carolina.
Were you married to him?
No.
Does he see the child?
No, he does not.
Does he support the child?
Yes, he does.
How much does he send?
$294 a month, court ordered.
When was the last time you were employed?
March of last year.
Who supported your household while you were living with Mr. Shiverini?
I collected disability.
What was the nature of your disability?
I have to have surgery on my stomach. I was born with intestinal problems, and I've had to have several surgeries to fix it.
You mean your disability didn't prevent you from having 2 children, but it prevents you from working?
Yes, I can't lift over 5 to 7 pounds. I'm not allowed to lift my arms above my head. I have problems holding down
You can't lift
food.
more than 5 to 7 pounds. Who lifts your babies?
Well, my son, he walks, but he
Well,
was
your son
a
didn't
big help.
walk when he was 3 months old or 6 months old and 9
I
months
had
old.
had surgery prior to that, and I hadn't had any problems until just before I had my daughter. My stomach surgery came undone just because it's been 8 years since I had my last surgery, just from normal wear and tear on my body.
How much does your daughter weigh now?
Right now, she weighs 13 pounds.
Who supported your household for the last year?
Me and him, we split things evenly. I gave my child support plus my disability.
You weren't collecting disability all during that time.
I have been. I have been collecting since we lived in our apartment disability. The last check I received was in October. We moved in August.
But that was
September,
before your
October.
daughter was born.
Yes.
You told me that you weren't sick before your daughter was born.
No, I
Didn't
was
you just
ill
tell me
my whole
that everything was okay until you didn't have a little more wear and tear
I'm
after
sorry,
your
Your
daughter
Honor,
was
what I
born?
meant to say was that I was having problems during my pregnancy. I was seeing my physician regularly, and he advised me that because I had found out in March that I was pregnant, that I should not work because I could not lift and it would cause harm to the baby.
There are an awful lot of things you can do without lifting 7 to 10 pounds, like answering a phone. That only weighs a couple of ounces. That's a job.
My daughter is only 3 months. I haven't been working due to the fact that she's so young right now.
So that the baby is with you all the time and you manage to lift 13 pounds.
I have no choice. He's not in the home. What am I going to do? Let her starve to death?
All I'm suggesting to you, Miss Blair, is that when people scam the government, it irritates me.
I would never.
Well, you are. Because if you're lifting a 13-pound baby, you can lift something 7 pounds and get a job. And if you're taking care of a child that weighs more than 7 pounds, then whatever you said to Social Security disability,
It's
which is I
temporary.
cannot lift anything above 7 pounds, is not true because you do every day.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tricia Blair says ex-boyfriend Joseph Shiverini owes for breaking a lease. Joseph says Tricia has a restraining order against him.
Hey, I forgot what your complaint is. All right. So there came a time he moved out of the house. When did you move out, sir?
Just recently, about a month ago.
And you took the 2 children with you?
Yes.
Why?
Because I have a problem with her excessive partying.
What do you mean excessive partying? What does that mean?
You know, drinking and other uses.
I don't know. We're in court. You tell me. She drinks and she uses drugs?
Occasionally.
What kind of drugs?
Marijuana.
And when you came home from work about a month ago, what was it that precipitated you leaving?
The house was full of smoke, and my newborn baby was in the house along with the 4-year-old.
What kind of smoke?
Pot smoke.
Really?
Your Honor, that's not true.
I'll get to you in a second. What did you say to her?
Well, we got into an argument, and she decided she was going to leave with the kids, and I wasn't having that. So I had called the cops to arrest her because she had previous warrants for assault and driving on a suspended license because I didn't want her to take the kids out of my house.
Okay. And that was successful. So they came and they arrested her.
Yep.
And you took the children. Where did you take the children?
To my sister's house.
Under what circumstances does Miss Blair get the children back?
She put a restraining order out saying, using false allegations, saying
Can
I
I see it,
assaulted her. Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the allegations.
Saying I've hit her several times and verbally assaulted.
All right, so she filed this petition asking for a protective order for herself and for the children.
Correct.
And she wants temporary custody of the minor child, and that is Jada. That's your daughter.
Yep.
The other one she doesn't need custody of because she already has custody of that child. And when the police came to your house, what happened?
They gave me the papers and they said that I had to release the baby.
And did you?
Yes, with no problems.
And that was when, sir?
I don't know.
February 23rd, Your Honor.
Okay, and in the petition you asked him to stay away from you. Is that right? So how could you ask him for rent?
The claim has been dismissed since March 11th.
Just a second. So you dismissed the claim on March 11th?
Yes. When I
indicating that you were in fear for your life and safety and in fear for your children, you needed a protective order. And I'm asking you between February 23rd...
रात भर सोचा तुझे ख्वाबों में आया तू दिल ने फिर कहा ये बस मेरा है तू तेरे बिना अधूरा सारा जहां लगे तेरे होठों पे लिखी मेरी दास्तां लगे दीवाने हम नहीं होते दीवानी रात आती है हमें उनकी उन्हें मेरी मोहब्बत याद आती है दीवानी हम नहीं होते दीवानी रात आती है उन्हें मेरी मोहब्बत याद आती जुल्फों में घटाएं बदलों जैसी ये दिल करने लगा उनसे वफाएं पागलों जैसी उसे जब देखते हैं तो बदल जाता है लहजा जुबान पे आ ही जाती है अदाएं शहरों जैसी उन्हें जब याद करते हैं तभी बरसात आती है दीवानी हम